It is our mission to embrace the ideal that our show shall always strive to belittle the stupid and to play an occasional song. We shall also strive to take all of your requests, but to never, under any circumstances, play those requests. It is our mission to offend as many people as we can in the shortest time possible. We shall always remember that no matter how pointless and stupid the things we say are, we shall present them in such a way that they will be lessons that will last a lifetime. We shall strive always to do nothing and to be mean. We shall strive mightily to always be the #1 morning show in Salt Lake, or, if not that, the #2 morning show, or at least somewhere in the top 15 or 20 morning shows. At least once a year, we shall go to someone's home, and we shall eat really good food, and we'll make you wish that you could be there to share it with us. And finally, it is our mission to always remind the listeners that we never lie, and we're always right. So let it be written, so let it be done.
The usual gang of misfits and dope addicts are here.
Well, I'm pretty sure that you didn't play that song because on this day in 1896, John Philip Sousa premiered El Capitan at the Tremont Theater in Boston with his wonderful brass marching band.
You're pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
You're not 100% sure.
There could be a connection, but I searched for it in my mind because I came in today thinking surely Kerry will commemorate John Philip Sousa's El Capitan, but no.
No. We went back and forth.
Yeah.
As much as I lobbied for Peebo Bryce and Gina Vito.
You really did? Okay, well,
No.
I find that interesting.
I was going to play Al Green because he is my favorite R&B singer.
I thought he would.
But I decided that all of his stuff is smooth,
Yeah.
and not going to wake you up.
And then I said, how about Aztec Camera, Walk Out to Winter? How about that?
Why, because it's snowing a little bit?
Because we don't have it. There is a keyboardist from Blondie birthday. I was going to maybe play some Blondie,
sure,
but I decided,
Why?
no, I'll just go with the obvious, and because it's Friday the 13th.
Oh, I see.
Bad luck.
Bad
luck.
Because it's
Scary. Ooh, it's spooky.
Because there's a lyric in there, 13's my lucky number.
It's scary.
a spooky day.
So I just went, yeah, okay, that's
Watch out for the black cats, and don't walk under a ladder. And don't take any wooden nickels. Now, I'm not sure that's part of Friday the 13th, but I just said it.
Are there any wooden nickels anymore?
I don't know. You used to get them occasionally.
There used to be a soda shop in Provo.
Yeah, it's that kind of stuff,
Who, when you spent a certain amount of money, they'd give you a wooden. It wasn't a nickel, but it was a wooden coin,
a token,
that was good for, a free soda or some stupid thing like that.
The origin of the wooden nickel.
You can still get a wooden nickel at Bullock Drug on Main Street in Cedar City. You can get an iron port and a
yeah, that's what I'm talking
and
about.
a wooden nickel.
Yeah.
What do you do with the wooden nickel? Use it toward your next purchase?
Yeah, something like that. It's like a
nickel
coupon, or you get one every so many times that you go in. But Bullock Drug, right there on Main Street.
Yeah, right. I remember that. I remember that place. I used to feel not welcome there.
Yeah.
There's
well,
a bill already.
I mean, there's a list of places that I feel not welcome. But
it's Cedar City in general, isn't it, Bill?
Well,
Southern Utah.
yeah.
Anything below the Beaver line?
Yeah. I'm not welcome generally below the Beaver line.
No.
Did you punch somebody in the face down there?
Right above the Beaver line, I'm okay, and then right in that Beaver zone.
Yeah.
You know,
If there's anything I've learned is that you never just go below the Beaver line. You have to be invited. That's what I've.
That's true.
That's good policy.
But I'm I'm always pretty handy, pretty welcome in the Fillmore Beaver area. So the Holden Fillmore Beaver area.
The Tri-Cities.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess we ought to begin the show.
Suppose.
A little tired. 4 hours sleep. Went to see Hamilton last night.
You'll tell us about that coming up.
I saw a lot of our friends there at Hamilton. Carrie Cronk was there.
Oh, she was?
Oh,
How's
she's
she?
just great.
Oh, good.
She is radiantly beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she seems to be doing well.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
And Kim Torrance, I saw. Kim
Oh,
Torrance,
how is Kim?
one of our fine people who
miss
used to work here as a salesperson.
Mhm,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's just always incredibly good, and she's there with her husband Brett, and they were, it was nice to talk to them.
I miss Kim.
Yeah, I do too.
All right.
But now it's time to see
All
if we
right.
can miss this feature. This is the feature that everybody loves to hate. It's the call-ins. They say they hate it.
But they keep calling in.
So if you don't call in for check-ins, then we will kill the feature.
We have a good prize, so I bet somebody calls.
Why do we keep doing that? That seems counterintuitive.
It's tickets to the Utah Royals home opener tomorrow afternoon.
Well, that
when
is
it
good.
won't be snowing and it'll be warmer.
All right. So 877-602-9696 is the number to call. Check in with the Radio from Hell show if you must. Now, again, if you don't call, we will kill this feature. Now, but if you do call, we expect a little something, not just, hey, I'm calling in, or hey, what's going on, or I'm driving to work. We want a little, what did you do? Something you did interesting yesterday. Something that you intend doing interesting today.
You're assuming everybody has something interesting to say.
Gina,
and I maintain that they don't.
Gina,
and they should just call and say, hi, this is Mark.
No.
And,
no. Gina! No.
What?
That you want to make this horrible feature even worse? I mean, really? This is Mark. Yeah, that's great.
Just that.
Good programming,
Bye, Mark.
Gina. No, you've got to hack. And I maintain that everybody, if they think about it enough, has at least one interesting thing they can say. At least one. 877-602-9696. Call and check in if you must.
If you must. All right, so we'll get underway here in a moment. All right, we got to tell you about ranlife.com.
Ranlife, there's this grant money that's available, civil service grant money that Ranlife has put together, and it's so firefighters, police officers, other first responders.
Oh, nice. They need a perk.
Teachers K through 12. It reduces your closing costs when you're purchasing or refinancing your home. So civil servant grants can be used to pay for costs or reduce your already low rate with Ranlife. Also, they have no down payment options and really affordable plans. Have we made it clear that Ranlife is a mortgage company?
It's a local mortgage
Yeah.
company,
Yes.
Bill.
Yep.
They're based here.
Here's what Bill Allred is thinking when he's not on the air.
Gotta think up some new features for Radio from Hell. Spice the show up. Maybe we could do a top 10 list. No, every morning show has ripped that idea off from Letterman. What about bringing back that character I used to do? PBA bowling champ Wayne Zahn. God, no. That was stupid then, and it'd be stupid now. What about a character who can read minds or predict the future? No. That's too much like Karnak. Double time checks might make things sound snappier. It's 7:27, 27 minutes after 7. Geez, that's stupid. God, I just know I'm going to be thinking about this all day.
Here's what Kerry Jackson is thinking when he's not on the air.
Oh, we gotta start working on this new Space Elders bit for this fall. And maybe we should call it Elders in Space. No, that's too much like pigs in space. Space Elders, that's it. Man, it's gonna take a lot of production, music, and sound effects. Good acting jobs by Bill and Chungo, which is next to impossible. Maybe I'll ask the janitor to do a role, even he'd be better than those guys. Man, this Space Elders is gonna take a lot of work, but it's really gonna spice up the show when we get it going. Man, I'm gonna be thinking about this all day.
Here's what Jimmy Chunga is thinking when he's not on the air.
Pudding, chocolate pudding, vanilla pudding, butterscotch pudding, rice pudding, tapioca. Oh man, I love pudding. Jello pudding pops, chocolate and vanilla pudding swirled together. Oh, pudding. P-U-D-D-I-D. Oh, pudding. I'd kill everyone in this room for one spoonful of sweet, sweet pudding.
Oh, hey, he was great, wasn't he, ladies and James? Pegleg Johnson, the one-legged stand-up comic. We're going to have him back real soon. And don't go away, folks, because in just a few minutes, you're going to be laughing your butts off with our headliner, Gallagher! Gallagher! You know, the guy with the watermelons? Yeah, well, anyway, it's time for a special treat here at Bananas, the best comedy club in a shopping mall in downtown Sheboygan. Please welcome the comedy stylings of Little Tommy Little, the 3-year-old stand-up comic!
Thank you, folks. It's great to be here. Now, stop me if you've heard this one. Why did the little moron saw his toilet in half?
Get off the stage!
Oh, I'm sorry. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, mister.
What?
Mister, is that a bug in your drink?
Where?
Made you look, made you stare, made you lose your underwear, stupid head booger face. Poo-poo pee-pee.
Part of the Radio from Hell show on X96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
Yes.
And the president is this morning tweeting up a tweet storm about Lion James Comey.
He is
Lion James Comey. It's tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet.
It's totally true. If I didn't believe in the P-tape before, I believe in it now.
Well, it's somebody made a good point. I think it was Seth Meyers. And Kerry might even have this coming up. You know, why did he ask him to investigate it if it didn't exist?
Mm-hmm.
Because it exists.
877-602-96. Oh, crap.
What?
People have called in.
Oh.
Well, it's for the Utah Royals tickets, I bet.
Is that it?
I bet that's why.
I think it's people who want to save this miserable feature.
We're going to start the show brought to you by Lucky's Auto Credit. $77 and a job get you a car. 2 locations, Salt Lake City and Ogden. For program details or to apply online, visit luckysautocredit.com.
Now, there is one more line open at 877-602-9696, and I don't know why I was stupid enough to tell you that. All right, the moon, you can only see 7.6% of it right now. It's almost not
worth mentioning?
No, almost not worth mentioning. Very good, Gina. That's exactly it. But we'll have a full moon again. Never fear. The next full moon will be April 29th at 6:58 p.m. But as for today, the moon will set at 5:42 p.m. And today being Friday, it's the 13th day of April in the year of our Lord 2018. And this is North America's most nefarious radio broadcast. This is the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Carrie Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi. The senior executive producer of the Radio from Hell show is Richard X. Stedman. Mr. Richard X. Stedman, who used to appear in adult films and now is producing the Radio from Hell show. Richard X. Stedman, we're very glad for his help. And then Dylan Allred, no relation, is producing video for the show. You can see us live at x96.com/live, and Katie for short is here helping out.
All right. Let's get underway then, I suppose. We'll begin with Dylan is on the phone.
Dylan?
Yep.
Let me ask you, did you just call in because you wanted those Utah Royals tickets, or did you call in because you believe this feature should be saved?
I believe the feature should be saved.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, why don't you lend credence to that by saying something interesting?
You got me there.
Yeah.
I told you, Bill.
See?
I told you.
See?
Not everybody has
Dylan?
something interesting to say.
Okay, Gina, that's one out of how many? Let's keep track
Okay.
here. Okay, that was one interesting phone call.
Not interesting.
Uninteresting phone call. One.
All right, Dylan, thank you.
I'm putting a U for uninteresting and an I for interesting, okay?
All right.
Go ahead, Dylan. See ya.
This is Hunter.
Hunter, prove Gina wrong. Give us an interesting nugget of something.
Okay, well, I'm actually calling more out of pride than anything else.
Why is that?
Because I tried calling like a few times, and I never got through.
Uh-huh.
I just kept getting madder until today I was like, I'm getting them. I don't care who says anything. So I just called like 4 times until I got through, and look at that. Pride won through for me.
I classify this as an interesting phone call. He had something to say. Hunter, how old are you?
23.
And Hunter, do you like soccer?
I love soccer.
You like women's soccer?
Well, there hasn't been a women's team in Utah as of yet, but I have a feeling that it will grow on me.
Well, then
I will learn to love it.
Then let's let it grow on you.
Let's start it growing.
Yeah, we'll start it growing on you. Hang on the line. We'll give you some tickets, all right?
Sweet. Thank you.
All
You're
right.
welcome.
See?
There we go.
Good phone call.
Dear friend of the program, Allison Sabo.
Hi, Allison.
Hi, guys. How are you today?
I'm sorry, Allison. You go in the uninteresting column. Gina's
Oh, I knew it. No, please, no. Keep me on. Please,
Okay,
please.
okay.
So
All right.
tomorrow, I want, you said if we have something interesting. So I think if the listeners know that I do the CrossFit. And
Right.
tomorrow we are having a big throwdown at Salt Lake City CrossFit. It's called Girls Gone RX, and we're raising money to help do funding for breast cancer research.
Oh,
so,
nice.
That's great.
So you're going to throw tires around for breast cancer.
Yeah.
Where is Salt Lake?
We flip tires and do Salt Lake CrossFit is on 600 South and 600 West.
All right. And what time is this event going to take place?
It starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and it'll go until about the afternoon.
All right. Till about the afternoon.
So it'll be super fun if you want to come see a bunch of girls sweat and work out really hard, and it'll be great.
Okay, I hope you saying this, you don't get a lot of creepers there. I want to see girls sweat and work out.
That didn't even dawn on me, Bill. Thank you very much. I appreciate you wanting to send creepers to the gym.
I didn't say it, Allison. You did. All right.
You put it in our heads, Bill.
All
you
right.
did that.
Bless you.
Thanks, Allison.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Let's go to Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Good morning.
Kevin, what have you got for us this morning, son?
Well, I wasn't going to call in, but then I thought, hey, I learned something interesting the other day.
Okay.
And that is that pineapples are not native to Hawaii.
They're not?
I actually knew that because I made the mistake of going on a tour of the Dole Plantation when I was last in Hawaii. But please, Kevin, tell people where they're from.
They were brought over by the Spaniards in the 1800s.
No, that's exactly right. This is a perfect place to grow pineapples, and we have plenty of people we can enslave to harvest them.
Yep.
Plenty of young Mormon white boys to go over there and harvest them. All right, Captain, that was pretty interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Hey, have a good one.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's see. We got, good morning from Atlanta. I'm a chaperone for a second grade field trip. Please send help. Oh, my. Going in early today to quit my job.
Ooh.
Good for you. Les, the hairstylist here, just laying in bed, mentally preparing for my 10-month-old wrecking ball to destroy my house. Ogden Oscar checking in. Let's see.
Ogden Oscar lives in a trash can up there in Ogden.
Tyler the trash man checking in. Teacher Emily. Hey, lords and lady, Jake in the basement checking in from sunny Los Angeles. Extra early for me as I'm on California time, but God forbid I miss a copper mug or Mayo Chup chat.
Oh, we have a follow-up on Mayo Chup coming up.
Yes, we do. In the boner candidates.
Yes. Gary checking in. Super short Sam.
That's hard to say.
Super short Sam. That's a Seuss book.
Yes. Metal Shop Mark. Tim the Tree Guy. Ogden Shut In. Randy. Travelin' Trav. Tracy the Mortician checking in.
We have
Lindy.
time to go to Shelley and Hunter.
No, we don't. Sorry, we are out of time.
Shelley, Hunter, thank you.
Try again Monday.
Terribly sorry.
Try again Monday. And I don't know why Hunter was calling in twice.
Well, it might have been a different Hunter. We already have problems this morning. Crash southbound I-15 at University Avenue in Provo. The center lane is closed there. We've got crash southbound I-15 Main Street in Lehigh. Apparently Utah County got hit particularly hard with snow last night. Crash southbound I-15 800 north in Orem. Crash southbound I-15 at 114 South Exit in South Jordan. And a crash northbound I-15 123rd South in Draper. 4 lanes of traffic closed there. Now, they say they're going to get that cleaned up hopefully before 7 a.m., so hopefully before real heavy traffic starts. But that's gonna back things up terribly through that area with 4 lanes being closed. So give yourself some extra time this morning. Get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback Credit Card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
All right, big boy news and opinioendo coming up. Also a review of the play Hamilton and the meh question, all on the way. Now it's time for the Gray Whale Entertainment Report. Friday is the international release date for all music, so that means there's new music, movies, games, and records to pick up at any of the locally owned and operated Gray Whale stores near you. Music. War on Women. Their new one, Capture the Flag, is out. Now, the Baby Driver soundtrack, Volume 2, A Score for a Score, is out. I don't know what that is, but I liked the first Baby Driver soundtrack very much. King Gizzard. Their new one, Gumboot Soup, is out today.
I think that's it's the whole name of the band is like King Gizzard and the Lizard Blizzard or something like that. Australian.
Metallica has a new one out, the 598 EP. And Breaking Benjamin, still around. Ember is their new one out today. Movies, Phantom Thread is out.
Gina loved that movie.
Yes, she
No,
did.
I didn't.
My Friend Dahmer is out today. Molly's Game is out today. Now, this is an animated film, Suicide Squad, called Hell to Pay. It is rated R. Just know
But
that.
it's a cartoon.
I know it's a cartoon, but it's rated R. Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke, the 40th anniversary edition that I know Bill's been waiting for.
Yeah, you bet. I love Cheech and Chong, man. Still smoking, dude.
And it's the second annual local record store night at Broovies, Tuesday, April 17th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. You got to be 21. Join your local record store community for the premiere of a local documentary short, Letting Strangers In, about the making of Josalie Paulette's latest album, Strangers, followed by a screening of Empire Records. You drink and food specials and record store pop-ups from some of your favorite shops. And don't forget, Record Store Day is Saturday, April 21st, next week. All Gray Whale locations will open at 8 in the morning. Limited edition LPs from hundreds of artists, free giveaways, great discounts to be announced. Celebrate independent record stores with Gray Whale on Record Store Day. Trade in your old stuff for new stuff at Gray Whale. Get something new to entertain you. Join the Killer Whale Club, get a lifetime discount. Follow them on their social medias at Gray Whale SLC. That is the Gray Whale Entertainment Report.
on X96.
All right. Big boy news and opinioendo now brought to you by
Lucky's Auto Credit, where $77 on a job gets you a car. 2 locations, Salt Lake City and Ogden. For program details or to apply online, visit luckysautocredit.com. What's the matter?
Well, I was trying something new here.
Oh, don't try anything new.
Oh,
That never goes well.
This was a mistake.
Do you need help?
Well, oh, there it is. There we go. I just, because I don't want people to miss this news flash. This is exciting, stirring stuff, and I've been researchers have found that there's more salt in bread than you thought there was. Lot more salt.
Okay.
In bread than you. Okay,
Let's
move on.
That's the breaking news.
Breaking news.
All right.
I had a great story here. Oh, this is a really sad story this morning. A horrific death. Did you hear about this? This kid who got trapped in a van.
Yes.
Authorities in Cincinnati pledged Thursday to find out just what went wrong in the death of 16-year-old boy they say got trapped by a minivan bench seat in a school parking lot. His body was found 6 hours after he first called 911. So he's trapped in this van. Police Chief Elliot Isaac said something went terribly wrong in Kyle Plush's death. He said a dispatcher was put on administrative leave and that the actions of all personnel involved will be reviewed. Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieter said his office is trying to identify experts to help its own probe with the coroner's death. Now, this starts out as a freak accident, but he could have been saved.
He called 911 twice.
The teen first called 911 at about 3:15 p.m. Tuesday, saying he was stuck inside of a van in desperate need of help, but he was unable to hear the dispatcher's questions, police said, and a call back to his cell phone after it disconnected went to voicemail. Responding police drove through the area looking for signs of anyone in distress, but didn't see anything out of the ordinary. So he called and said, I'm trapped in this van. I think he said it was gold, if I remember. Trapped in a gold minivan. It's in a school parking lot. The school, and he named the school.
Seems pretty specific.
And then the line goes dead. So they go cruising through the area, and I think the police officer even saw the van and kind of looked into it. Went, there's nobody in there. Nobody in there. He called again around 3:35 p.m., called 911 again. Police said this time he provided a description of the vehicle as he desperately pleaded for help, but he couldn't hear the dispatcher again. This time the officer didn't get, the information didn't get relayed to officers. So the first time he didn't even provide a description. They just went and they said, well, there doesn't seem to be anything going on in the parking lot here, drove away. This time he calls, gives an exact description of the van, and said, this is not a joke. I am almost dead. He asked the dispatcher, tell my mom I love her if I die. Police were unable to locate him on any of several parking lots of the Seven Hills School complex. Police said a friend called Plush's parents that evening saying he hadn't shown up as planned for a tennis match. His mother used an app, located his phone. They called county dispatcher. Police said family members arrived at the unlocked vehicle, and he was unresponsive inside. Apparently, he was reaching in for some tennis equipment. Somehow the seat went down and trapped him.
Sometimes
and he was
those
partially
seats
hidden. They're
automatic.
Well, most often they are, or mechanically automatic. And trapped him, and he was not visible. And,
He died.
Yeah, he did. That guy who at the Smiths who there was a shooting apparently. Now there's a guy in jail now on suspicion of firing the gunshot at the Smiths that injured himself and 3 bystanders, including a 3-year-old girl. He told police that he had the gun out and he had nearly dropped it when it went off. A probable cause statement for 36-year-old Rufino Joseph Cervantes said officers were dispatched to the store on a report of shots fired. They got there. Witnesses said that the suspect stood in the entry to the store, pointed a firearm inside, and began firing. Well, maybe that's not quite accurate. People there is chaos, and people think they see something that they don't see.
Eyewitnesses are
sometimes.
not always the best.
As a matter of fact, I think most of the time they're not the best. Their eyewitnesses are pretty unreliable. So police believe that the 3 victims were hit by bullet fragments. They said they're investigating his version of the events. So he's claiming it was kind of an accident. But there's something kind of shaky there, too. I mean, what's he doing? Standing in the front of the store. What's he doing with the gun? Holding a gun. So police are investigating. Fortunately, none of the injuries were life-threatening to anyone. So
I want to speculate because you know how I like to.
Okay, yeah.
He was going in to rob the place and dropped the gun and it went off and then he ran. Like, never mind. And
yeah, well, I don't think that's I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. Certainly. Let's see. Okay, let's do this story. The National Enquirer paid the doorman of a Trump property in New York $30,000 for a story that alleged that Donald Trump had an illegitimate child with a female employee.
Housekeeper.
According to a report. Yeah, a housekeeper.
That's what he has in common with Schwarzenegger.
American Media Incorporated, which paid $150,000 to a former Playboy playmate who claimed she'd had an affair with Trump, made the payment to Dino Sajudin in exchange for signing over the rights in perpetuity to a rumor that he'd heard about Trump's sex life. So I guess he didn't have any direct knowledge of it, but it was the word going around the building. So they paid him for it, not to print it. The National Enquirer didn't want to print it. They didn't want to print the story about Stormy Daniels. They didn't want to print the story about the Playboy playmate. They just wanted to bottle them up. So we're paying you for the rights to your story. That means you can't tell anybody. We own the rights now. You can't give it to anybody else or tell anybody else. And then because Donald Trump is friends with the head of American Media, the company that owns National Enquirer, his name is David Pecker, by the way. Yeah, yes. Mr. Pecker. The National Enquirer then bottles up all of those stories. So it makes you kind of believe a little bit more.
Well, they said that they didn't print the story because they didn't believe it. So naturally, you pay $30,000 for a story that you don't believe.
Well, let me give them this amount of little bit of credit.
All right.
You may pay $30,000 for a story you don't believe, but you still think it would be deleterious to your good friend Donald Trump.
That's exactly
if it got out there.
And that's a campaign finance violation. Well, possibly.
Can we get to the P-tape? Why are you making me wait for the P-tape?
You know, I've tried to bring there were other occasions where I wanted to bring up the P-tape, and you yell at me. No, I don't want to hear it. No, I don't want to think about it. Stop.
No, I like the P-tape story.
This is more about you than it does about anything, doesn't it?
No, because
President Trump
true.
wanted FBI Director James Comey, this is according to Comey, to investigate the infamous P-tape allegations because Donald Trump said, I need to reassure First Lady, I need to reassure Melania that I didn't pay any Russian hookers to urinate on a hotel bed.
I need you to investigate, because if this wasn't true, you couldn't just say, well, I'm not worried about this because it doesn't exist because it never happened. That's not what's going on.
He brought up what he called the golden showers thing, as he put it, this whole golden showers thing, adding that it bothered him if there was even a 1% chance that my wife Melania thought it was true. Wrong. He just rolled on unprompted, explaining why it couldn't possibly be true, ending by saying that he was thinking of asking me to investigate the allegation to prove that it was a lie. And I said, well, that's up to you. Comey said the conversation took place at a private dinner, 2017, just days after the publication of an intelligence dossier alleging that the Kremlin had a tape of Donald Trump in 2013 paying prostitutes to perform a dirty deed involving urinating on each other on a bed in the Moscow Ritz-Carlton suite once occupied by President Obama. Comey recalls privately wondering why Melania might think there was even a 1% chance that the allegation was true, noting that there was zero chance that his own wife would believe such a claim. In what kind of marriage to what kind of man does a spouse conclude there's only a 99% chance that her husband didn't do that? Comey writes. He warned Trump that an investigation might create a narrative that we were investigating him personally. Trump said, "Well, you might be right about that." And he said he talks about other uncomfortable conversations, which we will get away into later. Just quickly, how much time were we out of time?
Probably out of.
I just wanted to let you know, Carrie, if you didn't see this, Martin Scorsese.
Yes, I did see this.
And so it's happening today. Martin Scorsese is going to direct an SCTV reunion documentary for Netflix. And today, May 13th, Joe Flaherty, Eugene Levy, Andrea Martin, Catherine O'Hara, Martin Short, and Dave Thomas will reunite for a live show at Toronto's Elgin Theatre, dubbed An Afternoon with SCTV. It'll be hosted by Jimmy Kimmel, and it's an afternoon show because most of them have to get to bed early. The reunion show will be the central part of Scorsese's documentary, which will be shot over the course of just 3 days. The documentary will then air on Netflix at an unannounced future date. If you're not familiar with SCTV, it aired for 6 seasons from 1976 to 1984, and many people, me included, think it was funnier, consistently funnier than Saturday Night Live ever was or has been.
It's sketch comedy.
It's sketch comedy, and it was brilliantly absurd. Now, John Candy, not there, of course, he's dead, and Rick Moranis not there because, well, he doesn't do anything anymore.
He disappeared.
He's got, well, he's people know where he is. He's home taking care of his family, but he's just kind of
he's weird.
He's just gone off the radar. Yeah.
All right.
So there you go.
Sports weather traffic.
Let's see. So, of course, we've got the Utah Royals inaugural game at the home field tomorrow. So it's 1:30. There are still tickets available, but they are pretty sure it will be sold out. They're selling standing room tickets. And your ticket does get you into that Rachel Platten concert, which happens after the game. You're going to be allowed to go down onto the field. You can bring blankets if you want to. But the weather's going to be a lot nicer tomorrow than it is today.
I just looked it up, and it's clear and sunny. It'll be a little cool, but...
So you should go to that. It's affordable. You take the whole family. Make a whole day out of it. And yeah, speaking of weather, it's snowing. Utah County is getting the brunt of it, but it's snowing in Salt Lake too, and it's making for some sketchy traffic conditions. Crash westbound I-70 in Richfield. Crash northbound I-15 8th North in Orem. Crash northbound I-15 Pleasant Grove Boulevard in Utah County. Crash westbound I-80 at Milepost 99. That's the Tooele Lake Point area. Crash northbound I-15 Center Street in Provo, the off-ramp there. Northbound I-15 1600 North in Orem. Southbound I-15 University Avenue in Provo. See, I told you Utah County's bad, and there's a bad accident. 123rd South northbound I-15 in Draper. 4 lanes being affected there. So slick roads for sure. Give yourself some extra time this morning. Wreck your ride. Trust Everest Collision to put your needs on top. Download the Everest Collision app. Start your claim. They'll take it from there with locations in Salt Lake, Sandy, Tooele, and Ogden. Or go to everestcollision.com.
All right.
So
yes.
Last night, it was Hamilton. Now, I was fortunate enough, Richie was fortunate enough, a few people, we got some media tickets. So we could go there for free. And that was great because I really wasn't planning on going. I mean, I kind of wanted to see it, but, the tickets are...
I bought tickets for next week.
Although you still can get tickets on a lottery that are really inexpensive if you go to the theater. Do you know the details of that, Richie?
I'll find it out before the end of it. They do, I think it's 20 tickets before every show. It's an electric lottery where you can just go online and you have to do it for every day that you want to go. You can't sell those tickets. You have to pick them up in person, and it's right before.
And they're relatively inexpensive tickets. And you can buy really expensive tickets for this, and then you can buy tickets. Some of the now we were up in the very top tier, tier 3, and it was fine. It really is
It's a well-designed theater.
Yeah, so you can get some still, and I think there's still some tickets available just at the box office. But let's talk about
No, they're sold out. Way sold out.
Oh, yeah. Sold out.
Okay.
Yes.
So go to the lottery, and you can probably buy them from scalpers.
But what did you think about it?
Holy crap! It's not what I mean. I expected it to be good. I didn't expect it to be just about the most perfect theatrical experience I've ever had. It, from every single aspect of it, the acting was great and the singing was phenomenal. Every single song is good, is excellent, is evocative, it's exciting, it's moving. Some of the songs are moving. The staging, brilliant. The choreography, the dancing, incredible. They have this revolving stage, and it revolves two ways. And just as an actor, just the timing of how to deal with that and be on it and move with it, phenomenally well done. The lighting, sometimes, you think lighting on a show, you don't notice. This you really notice. It is meant to be part of the show, a big part of the show, and it's just gorgeous and incredible.
Now, did you go in cold, or had you listened to the soundtrack?
I had not listened to the soundtrack.
Okay.
I knew, of course, I know the story. Basically, know the story of Alexander Hamilton. Basically, I knew the first song. I don't want to miss my shot. What is it called?
Not throwing away my shot.
Not throwing away my shot.
Yep.
Not throwing away my shot. I had heard that song. Oh, and I had heard the King George song. It's just a brilliantly funny moment when King George comes out and singing about the colonists in America, and it says, well, we've had this relationship, and you've left me, but I know you'll come back. You will come back, and it's hilarious, and it's and the actors in this road company, every one of them, just top notch. And it's not necessary. Dylan kept going on. He thought, well, it does move fast. It moves very fast, but a lot of it's rap or kind of a hip hoppy rap sort of thing. But then it'll go into more traditional, really beautiful traditional songs as well. And the way it's blended is phenomenal. It's hard to explain. How do you combine kind of the Broadway songs or musical theater songs with rap and make it all blend together? He does it. I don't know how. And then I would say that you will follow it, because even though it moves fast and like the rap numbers, how they rap very fast, everyone speaks so distinctly and clearly. Did you know? I mean,
yeah, no, you can hear it. It's interesting. So my experience a little bit different because I have listened over and over and over and over to the soundtrack, and I think a lot of people are in that situation. So here is maybe a piece of advice for people who are going and are really familiar. Know that the cadence of the actors that you'll see will be slightly different. There will be sort of an artist's interpretation of each of the songs. For the most part, they'll be the same, but there will be a little bit of
I'm glad
difference.
I'm not that aware of it.
But for those who are really aware of it, it will set you off for the first 2 or 3 songs where you're like, no, that's supposed to go up right there and then trail off, as opposed to he went down and it throws you off
people
until
who are so into it that's what they'll do.
Yeah, throws you off until you realize, oh no, the way they're doing that is still beautiful. It's just a different thing than maybe like Lin-Manuel would have done in.
I noticed that
Broadway
just on one thing, because I had heard Jonathan Groff, who was King George in the Broadway. I had heard him sing that song, and it was phenomenal, and I liked it better than I liked this King George. However, this to take nothing away from this King George, he was great.
Yeah,
he was great. And he's hilariously funny. It kind of reminds you of an Elton John song. It's got,
a little.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like an Elton John song. You'll be back. It's just, God, it's great. There's tons of, what are there, 25 different songs or more?
Oh, there's easily, I think, 50 songs. There's 23 in the first act. So
yeah,
because it's almost like
no dialogue.
Like Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, where it's just song to song to song. And going back to your staging, that's what's so great about it. The stage doesn't change either. It's the same.
much,
it's
yeah.
the same set, and they use the traveling floor or the moving floor
And the
all that
lighting.
stuff and the lighting to make you think. Now they're in a different place. Now
they're-
it's a different time.
Now they're in the Congress. And there's a great rap battle between Jefferson and Hamilton, with George Washington officiating the rap battle between the two of them. And it's just,
Jefferson, known as an excellent rappist.
well, it's just, oh, man, excellent.
Well, I'm glad I don't know anything about it.
You
I'm
will
glad
love
I'm
it. You
going
will
in
love it. Are you
cold.
taking the whole family?
No, because I only got 3 tickets, so just Festus and Joe and myself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
You will love it.
Oh, and the orchestra, the band, the orchestra is live down in the pit, and they're
great.
They're great.
So he's saying 46 songs.
46.
Yeah.
Man.
All right.
And not a clunker among them.
Well, good.
It's just I don't think he can top himself.
There may be something to this Hamilton.
How will he ever do, how will he ever do this again?
It'll be tough.
Well, I mean, not to keep going on, but his original In the Heights is equally as good, but people just don't know it because it didn't click with as many audiences.
If I were him, I'd go and do some other things besides Broadway plays.
Yeah.
For a while.
Run marathons.
Something, anything.
Traffic sure a clunker this morning, though. Sorry. Crash southbound I-15 Center Street in Orem. Actually, Orem's having a lot of problems. Crash northbound I-15 800 north in Orem. Utah County got hit pretty hard with snow last night. Crash northbound I-15 Pleasant Grove Boulevard. Crash westbound I-80 at Tooele and Lake Point. Crash northbound I-15 Center Street in Provo. And we still have that nastiness at 123rd South northbound I-15 affecting 4 lanes of traffic there. Give yourself some extra time this morning. That's traffic.
All right. We'll see. We're going to take a quick break here, and then we'll be back with meh question of the week and round 1 of your boner voting. Stand by.
Hey there, it's John Smith on X96, and I'm your official host every Sunday night at 10 for SLC Fun.
From Hell on X96.
I had a Pepsi yesterday, a Diet Pepsi. I don't drink soda very often. There it is. There's sodas, and it's a Diet Pepsi, and then Diet Coke on the other side. I haven't had a Diet Pepsi in a long time.
When offered both, Bill, you don't.
Gina, I can do as I like.
Ever.
And my take on the matter has always been, well, if you're out of Diet Coke, I'll have a Diet Pepsi because it's just fine.
I'll have a Dr. Pepper.
And you know what? It is just fine.
No, it isn't.
Why must you say it isn't just fine if I think it's just fine?
Because you're wrong.
Why? Why would I be wrong about that?
Pepsi not a suitable substitute for Diet Coke.
I don't get that.
Depends on my mood.
Fine. Yeah.
Because they taste different.
Yes.
Tell Terry
one
he's
tastes
wrong.
good.
Yeah.
Tell Terry he's
doesn't.
wrong. Tell him he's wrong.
I just did.
There are times when I like a Diet Pepsi as
No.
opposed to a Diet Coke.
No.
And what I'm mixing it with also plays a lot into it.
I had a bag of chicharrones too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's good.
Mac question of the week.
It was
Brought
lunch. I'm sorry.
Brought to you by Prohibition. Fridays are always roaring at Prohibition with live bands and burlesque dancers. Go to prohibitionutah.com.
Well, Gina, what is the best question or question of the week?
Well, Josh sent this in to radiofromhell at x96.com, and he put best/Mac question of the week in the subject line.
Okay.
Says, Dear Lords. Oh, by the way, Josh gets a Prohibition gift card for submitting this. Dear Lords, my question comes after listening to Gina talk about her trip to Hawaii. During her stories, Bill asks if she would rather still be there, to which she replied, 7 days is enough. I was ready to come home.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, where have you traveled that 7 days would never be enough, and given the chance you'd move there permanently? Now keep in mind, this place won't just house you alone. Every member of your family that resides with you now, even the furry ones, are coming along.
All right.
Thanks for letting me listen, Josh.
Everybody, wait, does everybody have to come along? No, I'm asking seriously. Does everybody have to come along? Or is it just 7 days that I could,
not
more than,
move there.
Yeah. Yeah, but does everybody have to? Oh, I guess if we're moving, then
if you're moving, I would.
So Mr. Fluffy Pants and
right.
Klaus with the goopy eye are coming.
Well, I've always said as I fall down on my bed in a stupor, there's no place like home.
No, and my point with that was, I think if you take the right length of vacation, you're about ready to come home when it's over.
Yeah, but where would you move?
But where would I move to?
Where would you move and take the family with you?
I mean, you said you're joking. There's no place like home.
There's no place like home.
I really do love living in Salt Lake City. I like Salt Lake as a home base, and I like traveling to other places. But I don't know of anywhere that I would want to pick up, take everybody.
Well, I had a dream once that I took everybody to Seattle, but you were there, and you were there, and you were there.
Could you live in Seattle, though? Seriously?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could live in Seattle or even even further up into the, I have some friends, we have some friends who live on an island up in the San Juans, and I could live there as well. I mean, it's pretty tiny, but you can take the ferry over to Seattle, and it takes, an hour or something like that. But, yeah, I could easily do that. I wouldn't mind moving there. I'd love to live in London. I could move the family to London easily.
I could live in London.
I could move the family to.
They got the Nando's.
I could move the family to Amsterdam, live in that area. Maybe not right in the city, but just kind of a little bit on the outside of Amsterdam. I like that place a lot, that area a lot. Yeah, there's many places.
You're going to leave now, aren't you? Now that you're thinking about it.
No, probably not, because there's still things that tie us here. But I could live in Hawaii. I'd love to live in.
I think I get the island fever living in Hawaii.
Some people do.
Like by 7 days, I'm like, this is great, but I got to get out of here.
Yeah, if island fever can be caught, you would be the one to catch it.
You would.
Yeah.
You would. Yes.
There are many places I could live, and would enjoy living. I wouldn't mind living in New York if I had enough money. I wouldn't mind taking the family and moving to Manhattan. But that would take a lot of money to live in Manhattan. But I like it there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the family would like it there. I think the kids would enjoy, and especially at the age they are now, they would enjoy living in that kind of urban environment.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'd like it. So many places. But if I went by myself, I'd like to just go to the bottom of the Grand Canyon. to the
move to the bottom of the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, to the Havasu village down there, and live out my days as kind of a hermit in the Havasu village down at the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
Let your beard grow long and never get out of your lava.
Yeah,
and stay drunk.
Yeah, wear hardly any clothes. Yeah. You'd have to. I think it gets a little cold down there in the winter, but just kind of
Carrie,
eat tacos and
Southern California,
easy.
Mostly the coast. Santa Barbara.
That's another place you have to have money to make it.
Well, that wasn't part of the question.
No,
though,
it wasn't. It wasn't.
Santa Barbara, Dana Point, places like that.
In a heartbeat.
I could.
Yeah.
I could easily.
Mm-hmm. Just pack up and go.
Yeah. Seafood.
Would your dogs like it there?
I wonder how they'd respond to the beach.
Oh, they'd love it.
Artie would not have liked the beach.
No.
There's a lot of walking at the beach.
Hudson would like the beach.
Yeah.
Ripley, not sure if she'd like the beach.
Ripley'd probably make you carry her.
She would. She would. But yeah, that's where I'd go in a heartbeat. I could easily live there.
And Gina, you just can't think of anything.
I'd eat tacos every day.
You just want to stay here in Salt Lake.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't want to go anywhere.
You don't?
Maybe for 7 days, but that's it.
What about the Christmas tree farm?
Well, yeah. So that's going to be the.
Yeah, you'll hate that.
No, that's going to be the. We'll live half the time here and half the time at the Christmas tree farm. That's happening. That's not a maybe. That's
just the dumbest dream I've ever heard.
Why?
I hate to rain on your business model parade.
What?
Climate change.
But with climate change. But I predict a live, real Christmas tree backlash.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with the Christmas tree farm, Carrie. If you don't sell them, you just have a bunch of trees. It's not like a crop that's going to go bad.
No, I'm just saying
and
that,
then you can grow pot down in the
in between.
rows.
I'm just saying that would be more lucrative. Pot.
I think there's going to be a live Christmas tree backlash soon. Nobody will have them anymore.
Then we just have a bunch of trees. It's the perfect
how you paying the
crop.
bills?
There's an investment just sitting there.
How you paying the bills?
Not return. You have no business
once
sense.
a year.
It's the perfect.
You're selling for a month and a half, 2 months out of the year.
Then you wait a year and you cut them down and they're a little taller.
The demand for pot is 24/7.
Wait a minute. What did you say?
If this isn't a good year for Christmas trees, you just leave them in the ground and we'll cut them down next year. They'll just be a little bigger. How much do you think they grow every year?
If they're not gonna, I think people will not have live Christmas trees ever at some point. They just won't have them.
I think they'll have them, but I think that people are going to get away from them.
They're almost prohibitively expensive now.
It'll be your blue wave that takes care of that.
It'll be fine. Don't rain on my Christmas tree farm parade.
Think of someplace else you could move to that you wouldn't mind. Really?
You said London. I could live in London. I'm just saying I don't travel anywhere where I go. I don't want to go home. I wish I could stay here. I really do like living in Salt Lake and having this be home base. I really do.
I remember like our trips to Europe. There were times when I just didn't want to go. I was sad to leave. 13 days, traveling around Europe, or 14 days, and then you have to. I don't want to go back. Let's go back to London for a while. Let's go to Paris for a little while. Hey, we haven't been to Vienna. We haven't been to Belgium. I'd like to go to Bruges. Wouldn't you?
In Bruges?
Oh yeah.
In Hugging Bruges?
I never went to Hugging Bruges. I'd like to go to Hugging Bruges. I don't know.
Yeah, there's this little place called the Boathouse in Santa Barbara that I had some of the best crab legs ever.
And you can go there and have them?
Yeah.
And then
live
come
with them?
home.
But I would go there every day.
Hey, crab legs, I'm home.
I'm back.
That's best question. Thanks, Josh. You get the Prohibition gift card. You can send your best question to radiofromhell@x96.com. Put best question in the subject line.
All right. Thank you very much.
Boners round 1 coming up. Here are your candidates. Boner candidate number 1, Mayo Chup. Boner candidate number 2, less EPA, more Pruitt. And boner candidate number 3, problem, solution, batter up.
All right.
Utah County had more snow than we did in Salt Lake, and it caused some crashes. Southbound I-15 at 1400 North in Springville. Crash northbound I-15 University Parkway on-ramp in Orem. Crash southbound I-15 Center Street in Orem off to the right shoulder. Lots of slick roads down there. Northbound I-15 800 North in Orem. Northbound I-15 Pleasant Grove Boulevard. And that's not including once you get around the point of the mountain and you're into the mess at 123rd South northbound I-15. That was affecting 4 lanes of traffic. I haven't seen an update on that. If anybody is close by and it's safe for you to let me know if that's getting cleared up, I would appreciate it. Text it to us, 33986.
All right, so we're going to take a break. We'll be back with round 1 of your boner voting and big boy news. Stand by.
On this week's Let's Go Eat show, we talk to Saida Dahir. She is smart. She is charming. She is an activist. She's a slam poet. She's only 17. She and her generation are going to change the world. Find
time for round one of your boner voting. So we're going to give you 3 news stories here that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you'll decide with your vote who of these 3 is the worst. This will be the winner of round one. This does not make it boner of the day. It will just be the winner of round one if it wins here. Then we do this all over again at 8:20 with 3 new candidates.
Well,
3
that's
different
just crazy.
ones. I know, right? Then we get a winner of round 2. We take those 2 winners, we throw them in the Boner Dome for Boner Fight at 9:20. That's when boner of the day is decided. So you got to pick a contender for this round. 2 candidates now, then a third after the big boy news. Once you've heard all 3, then you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive
I can't buy it. Gotta win it. Radio from Hell boner t-shirt courtesy of Excel Automotive Repair. Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car checkover before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50. And Bill, just before you get into the boners.
Yeah, and that's great because I'm stalling anyway. Go ahead.
Utah's biggest Hamilton fan.
Uh-huh. Oh, I heard about this person.
Well, it's Lieutenant Governor Spencer Cox.
Oh, well, there's another one who claims to be...
No, it's Spencer Cox.
Yeah.
We were talking about how to get Hamilton tickets.
Mm-hmm.
He said if you can't afford to buy them on the secondary market, you can enter the daily lottery. 40 tickets are available for every show at $10 each. Now, it's a lottery, and to get it, you have to upload the official Hamilton app. Is how you enter that lottery.
Where do you find the Hamilton app?
On your phone?
Well, I mean...
I think it's obvious what it is. The official Hamilton app.
All right. Okay. It's time for boner candidate number 1. You ready, Carrie?
Yeah.
Mayo Chup. Now, we've talked about this, and everybody's talked about this Heinz Mayo Chup thing. Combination of ketchup and mayonnaise. And everybody's, it's fry sauce, it's fry sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people who think the name is awful. I think the name is awful.
Yeah, I don't like the name, but...
I don't care that it exists. I just think the name is
I
different.
don't care.
But then there are people, and I told you about this yesterday, and this confirms it. There are people who are offended that this is somehow that they're denigrating Utah culture with this Mayo Chup. How dare they?
Huh?
How dare they do this?
That's absurd.
Now, I didn't hear this myself, but someone sent this to me. On KSL radio, there's a guy named Jeff Kaplan, and he does My Minute of News. And he addressed this topic of Mayo Chup, and, well, I don't know. We'll just play it and then... Just play it.
It's short.
Here we go.
All right.
Mayo Chup. That's right. Heinz, the ketchup people, are ready to put something called Mayo Chup in stores, a combination of mayonnaise and ketchup. Now you're just realizing, wait, they're talking about fry sauce. But they're calling it Mayo Chup, an appalling, unappetizing mashup of a name that tarnishes the glory that is fry sauce. Mayo Chup. If they get 500,000 yes votes on Facebook, Heinz will put Mayo Chup in the grocery stores. So, Utah, how does it feel? For years, you've heard African Americans complain that their cultural symbols, from dreadlocks to soul music, have been appropriated by whites. And you...
Okay.
Wait, let it go for 1 second.
Yeah,
Please.
because I'm just astounded right now.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hide to understand. Well, here you go. Heinz is on the precipice of stealing your fry sauce, and in 47 or 8 states, it'll only ever be known as Mayo Chup. Iron Chef Kat Cora says Mississippi has something similar called...
So you got kind of interrupted there, but it says, so maybe now, Utahns, you understand. You now maybe you understand how
like
African Americans feel about having your cult.
No.
What?
No.
First of all, what a horrible analogy.
It's not cultural appropriation. It's condiment appropriation. It's not even cultural. It's condiments because as he goes on in his story, points out many different places around the world where they do this.
Yeah. There are a lot of other places.
It's not unique.
It's not just us.
Except for the buttermilk.
Puerto Rico, Argentina, Colombia, Germany, the American Midwest, they have been doing this for as long as we have.
But making the comparison that now we finally understand what it's like to be African American and have your culture appropriated.
Not even close.
First of all, it's a stupid analogy, and second of all, he's assuming that you all are stupid and didn't understand how it might feel to have your culture appropriated. You could never possibly understand how African Americans might feel.
This is the worst comparison I have ever heard. But you know, he's from New York, so he's smarter than we
I
are.
don't want to get in a fight with him because he's from New York.
New Yorkers are notoriously grumpy and fighty.
They're fighty.
Street fighters. Yeah. Boner candidate number 1, Mayo Chup. Boner candidate number 2, less EPA and more Pruitt. When Scott Pruitt said, you know, I don't like the EPA agency logo. I don't like it. Looks like a marijuana leaf. You know what? I want to change that. You know what? I want to so we got challenge coins in all the departments in Washington. They all have their own challenge coins, and that's fine. That's great. Challenge coins are fun. I collect them. Haven't received any, by the way, in a long time. If you have challenge coins, I collect them.
Maybe you'd like a new EPA challenge coin.
Well, Scott Pruitt wanted to refashion the challenge coin. It's a type of souvenir medallion, has military origins. It's become a status symbol among some civilians, like me. So he proposed an unusual design. Let's make it bigger and delete the EPA logo. Here's what we'll do. I want the coin to feature some combination of symbols more reflective of me, Mr. Pruitt, and the Trump administration. So how about a buffalo to evoke Pruitt's native state of Oklahoma, and then a Bible verse to reflect my faith.
Whoa.
Or wait, how about, I know what we'll do. We'll use the Great Seal of the United States, which is a design similar to the presidential seal, and we'll put my name around Pruitt, around the name of the rim of the coin. How about that? Let's do that.
He's a narcissistic ass.
Mr. Pruitt is still talking about changing the challenge coin. Now, people think they've talked him off some of his more grandiose ideas. Boner candidate number 2, less EPA, more Pruitt. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, problem, solution, batter up.
All right. We got round 1, boner candidate number 3 after this big boy news and opinioendo. Brought to you by
Del Taco's 2-for menu. Now you can pair any 2 classic burritos for just $5. Try the Del Combo and Classic Grilled Chicken Burrito. Only at Del Taco. Participation may vary.
Well, I almost thought about making this a boner candidate. I wanted to mention this. Our wonderful friend who was an intern here, Anna. Remember Anna?
Yes.
And she had triplets.
Oh, yes.
Moved to Texas with her husband.
That's right.
And I think they're in Texas, and she had triplets. And anyway, she tweeted yesterday a thing that I just thought was astonishing. It was about Justin Timberlake.
He was in town last night.
Right. Well, apparently she was in her town. Maybe she came to see him here.
Or maybe she is here.
Maybe. It says, my sis and I, this is just the tweet she did, are super fans of Justin. It says, JT, exclamation point. My sister and I are super fans. She flew in from Oregon to see your show. So I guess that was in Texas. Our tickets were some of the cheapest. But it's really uncool to sell tickets and make money off a person who literally can't see anything. Just don't sell those seats. Incredibly disappointed. And then she tweeted a picture of where they were sitting. Now, I retweeted it, so you can all see it at RFH Bill. There is no view of the stage from where she's sitting. Zero. She's looking at a giant lighting array.
Wow.
That's really awful. Now, I don't think Justin Timberlake is directly responsible for that.
No.
But he should probably be aware of it. I feel bad for her and her sister who flew in from Oregon. It's just wretched. Their seats were awful. And there are probably other people sitting up there, too. They can't even see the stage. They just see they're sitting up so high, they're just looking down through the lighting array.
Well, they were at Vivint. They were here.
Oh, was it at Vivint?
Yeah, I think she still lives here.
No, she doesn't still live here. She lives in Texas.
It doesn't matter. It was
all right here. Whatever.
Yeah. So there you go. I just thought I'd bring that up. That's really uncool. Was it the Vivint?
Yes. She tagged Vivint Arena
did she?
in her
Okay.
post.
Good. Now, we were talking about Cancun and the murders going on in Cancun. There's a little bit more information about that. It's because of an alleged drug queen and her gang. That's what's causing all of this. They have ties to El Chapo's Sinaloa cartel. They're believed to be responsible in part for the surge in violence that ravaged Cancun over the past year, according to a report. Leticia Rodriguez Lara, who goes by Donaletti and Laforti, and her alleged gun runners have wrestled control of narcotic sales in Cancun and nearby Playa del Carmen from the rival cartel, Los Zetas. And that's why this murderous turf war is going on. The murder rate in Cancun has doubled in a year. 113 people killed in Cancun so far in 2018. 113. And it's because of this drug queen in Cancun. Let's see. So entrance fees, you remember they were talking about raising entrance fees to national parks.
Yes.
By
a lot.
A lot. Well, that's not going to happen.
Oh, good.
But they are going to go up. Entrance fees to Utah's national parks will go up $5 in June.
Okay, that's reasonable.
By $5. After federal officials backed away from their plan to more than double some entrance costs at popular venues in the wake of public outcry. The original plan, unveiled by the Interior Department in October, would have hiked fees up to $70. But now they've backed off. They're going to do a $5 entry fee.
Yep.
So the Cosby trial is hot and heavy, and I don't think he's going to get out of it this time.
You think he's going to jail?
Really?
Yeah. Shalon Lasha was 17 in 1986 when she went to Bill Cosby's suite in the Las Vegas Hilton after she said he told her he could help her with her modeling career. She wet her hair to pose for modeling shots at Cosby's request. Then he offered her what he said was an antihistamine to help her cold and some almond liqueur. She took them. I trusted him. He laid me on the bed. I could not move anymore after that. He kept doing stuff to me. I woke up. I was naked. She testified in court. Also testifying in court, Janice Dickinson, who's been a part of this thing for the long time, former model Janice Dickinson, testifying. Yup. And
they all have the same story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave him something for, his antihistamine
His
is his
drink.
go-to, or his special drink.
It's my special drink. He was America's dad, and he was on top of me, Janice
He's a
Dickinson
serial
said.
predator.
And then, of course, Andrea Constand also testifying. Woman after woman. I don't think he's going to make it this time. Bill Cosby will be.
It was the
put away.
70s, he said.
Well, that was his
Well, my defense is it was a period of time.
Then there was another woman in court who said, please, a third Bill Cosby accuser took the stand Wednesday, recounted how she accepted Quaaludes from him, what she thought were Quaaludes. So she said, okay, I'll take some Quaaludes. And then she woke up naked in bed with him. But she also said to Cosby's lawyer, I believe while she was on the stand, please tell your client to stop rolling his eyes at me. So he's
blind.
Apparently
He
he was.
can't help it.
She said, are you rolling your eyes at me? Oh, she asked Cosby's lawyer, Tom Mesereau. Yes, he smirked. Well, I'm under oath, she said, and I never, ever, ever discussed this case with Andrea Constand or anybody. So don't roll your eyes at me. Imagine the attorney sitting there.
Wow.
Yeah. So I hope we have a picture of this. It's a threatened species. And we have this turtle, Dylan. Do we have that? It's a green-haired turtle that can breathe through its genitals.
No!
Well, it appears to have a nose.
Well, it doesn't use it. Well,
what's it
I think
for?
I think it uses both.
Both?
This is an Australian turtle, and it is an endangered species. It breathes through its genitals, not all the time, but after a long time underwater as an alternative way to get oxygen, and that really would help. The turtle is the 13th on a new list of reptiles in trouble. If you go to x96.com/live, you can see this little guy. The Edge of Extinction program at the Zoological Society looks at the evolutionary trees of animals that are endangered to determine which are the most vulnerable. And this little guy, the green-haired, genital-breathing turtle, is an endangered species. And I feel very sad for him. And Heather Locklear says she is not guilty of battery.
There she is.
But
X96.com/live.
You beat up your boyfriend.
Well, she's pleaded not guilty to charges that she attacked. I think he's dismissed. He's not pressed charges, but the cops are, because she attacked deputies who answered the domestic violence call. Locklear's attorney entered a not guilty plea to 4 misdemeanor counts of battery on an officer in Ventura County Superior Court. Authorities say that Heather Locklear kicked, pushed, and shouted at deputies who were answering a report that she'd been violent with her boyfriend. She was not charged with domestic violence because he didn't want to press charges. Although the cops could have done it, but they didn't. But they are pressing charges for attacking the police officers. And then this story. Let's see. No, I don't think this is there's a bunch of. No, that's a boner candidate, and I'm not going to do that right now. Are we? How much time do we have here?
Oh, we're good. We
Okay.
could go here.
All right.
Weather, traffic.
Weather is nasty this morning. Snow, particularly in Utah County, but we're getting some in Salt Lake, and Davis County had some as well. 38 for a high, and that has affected your commute this morning. Again, particularly in Utah County, several accidents to report down there. Crash northbound I-15 University Parkway off-ramp in Orem. We've got a crash southbound I-15 1400 north in Springville. Northbound I-15 University Parkway on-ramp. Crash southbound I-15 Center Street in Orem. Crash northbound I-15 800 north in Orem, so lots going on there. And still very slow coming around Point of the Mountain, northbound I-15 through the Draper-Sandy area. There were a couple of earlier accidents there that I think they've cleared off to the side, but still lots of slowage in that area. Brought to you by Octapharma Plasma, making money by making a difference. Donate today at 5414 South 9th East in Salt Lake.
I want to thank Ed Brass for tweeting me a picture of Count Floyd. Thanks, Ed. I really like that. All right, here's boner candidate number 3. Problem, solution, batter up. A Pennsylvania school district made headlines when they said they were arming teachers and students with buckets of rocks as a last resort to fight off shooters, school shooters. Well, now there's another district in the state of Pennsylvania. They're going to arm their teachers with little baseball bats, mini baseball bats.
So not even full-size one.
No.
Like bully sticks?
Yeah, like
Isn't
that.
what those are
Yeah.
called?
It looks like it's about a foot and a half.
That's a good.
long.
That's a good term. I hadn't heard that in a long time.
They're bully
A
sticks.
bully stick. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mill Creek Township School District near Erie gave 16-inch bats to 500 teachers. District officials told the media outlet they spent $1,800 on the bats, saying they were mostly symbolic, but could still be used if needed.
What?
As Mill Creek School Superintendent William Hall put it, it's as the last resort, but it is an option and something we want people to be aware of.
Mostly symbolic.
You get them a Lucille. You get a full-size
Yes.
bat and wrap some barbed wire around it.
That's just going to irritate people. That's not going to hurt anybody.
I'm going to hit you with this.
You know how close you have to get to hit somebody with that?
God.
I mean, really? Boner candidate number 3. Problem, solution. Batter up.
Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, Mayo Chup. Jeff Kaplan, guy on the radio, comparing the culture, what he calls cultural appropriation, comparing fry sauce to African Americans having their culture appropriated by white people. And they're sometimes African Americans have complained about that. We have those soul songs, and then Michael Bolton does them. But
this is fry sauce.
This is fry sauce.
This is that is the worst comparison I've ever heard.
And he also assumes that Utahns are not sympathetic or empathetic with the perhaps black Americans who feel that some of their culture has been appropriated for. Anyway, boner candidate number 2, less EPA, more Pruitt. Scott Pruitt's idea to update an EPA keepsake, take the EPA name off of it entirely and put my name on it, Pruitt says. And boner candidate number 3, problem, solution, batter up.
All right, here we go. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates here in round 1. Which one is the worst? Which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and get that 50-50 chance of becoming boner of the day? Yeah, if it wins here, it's not boner of the day. It's got to go up against the winner of round 2. Round 2, that happens at 8:20 with 3 new candidates and more voting, and then we take the 2 winners and they duke it out with boner fight at 9:20. So 1, 2, or 3. This is round 1. Pick a contender. Put the number of the candidate you think should win in the message of a text, and text that to 33986. Or you can call 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote. Or you can go to x96.com and look for the box. This is Boner Vote April 13 and vote there. But you've got less than 300 seconds to do it. Let's go. This is round 1.
John Smith.
Well, I have a story for Gina to begin the news.
I'm ready.
Well, and I know this is a story that Gina will really like and be interested in because she sent it to me. A man who murdered his niece, a niece who was also his lover, by smashing her. What does that mean?
It's a detail.
Yes, it is.
There's more.
But wait, there's more.
And it gets even better, doesn't it,
Yeah.
Gina? He killed her by smashing her over the head with a TV. He's been put in jail.
It's Uncle Lover.
Christopher Wall is his name. Was convicted of battering Haley Wall, who was his niece as well as his lover. He was been ordered to serve a minimum of 14 years behind bars.
Only 14 years?
A minimum.
You kill your niece who you're having an affair with a TV, and that's not automatic forever?
Well, Gina, I don't know where this is exactly. I didn't. You should know. What town is this
I believe
in?
it's in the UK.
Well, then, you know how liberal they are in the UK. Christopher Wall, it says here he's facing a lifetime behind bars. So it's a minimum of 14. It's 14 to life, I would guess. My guess is they won't let him out for a long, long time. She was found with a bloody head outside a supermarket in Bournemouth after being battered by Mr. Wall. Before she slipped out of consciousness, she was able to tell emergency crews her name and address and that her partner had beaten her. When police visited the home, they found signs of a disturbance on the second floor, including a door on the landing that was knocked off its frame and 2 long dark hairs embedded in a crack hallway up the door with a number of blood spots. Embedded in a crack halfway up the door, I should say. Officers also found a large flat screen TV at the bottom of the stairs, and there was blood all over the flat screen TV, and he finally said, yeah, I beat her with the... We were watching the Great British Bake Off, and she pissed me off. So, yeah, there you go. Murdered his niece, who was also his lover.
Niece lover.
Time to award round one of your boner voting.
And round one of the boner voting is brought to you in part by a bag of pork rinds.
Ooh.
And Bad Apple. I was there yesterday.
How are they?
They're so great. Took Jonesy's phone in there. She had a cracked screen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they always?
Well,
how is it that
I don't know.
13, 14-year-old?
And they're so funny. They're like, we're a little backed up. This is going to take about an hour. I'm like,
yeah,
that's fine.
That's nothing.
I would have been fine if you said come back on Tuesday. And
See, on the times I've gone to the Sugar House when they've not been busy, and they've just done it right.
Yeah,
I've sat down for maybe 15 minutes.
They fix your.
Huh?
They fix
What are we
your
talking
phones.
about?
They fix your screen.
Oh, Bad
They
Apple.
fix-
That's
yeah,
what we're talking about.
Bad Apple.
All right. So we had boner candidate number one, My Minute of News with Jeff Kaplan. That's the Mayo Chup controversy. Him comparing African Americans, saying that they've had their culture appropriated by white people for so long. Well, now maybe Utahns can understand how black Americans feel because of the Mayo Chup appropriating fry sauce.
It's not even close.
No. Boner candidate number two. Less EPA, more Pruitt. Scott Pruitt, the head of the EPA, his job being to dismantle the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. He wants to take the EPA logo off the commemorative coins, the challenge coins. Just take the EPA logo. Take the name EPA off of there. We don't need that. Let's put my name on it. God. And boner candidate number three, problem, solution. Batter Up, a school district in Pennsylvania, giving teachers mini baseball bats or bully sticks, as Gina calls them, to ward off shooters. Kirk won a boner t-shirt.
Kirk.
Congratulations, Kirk. And the winner of the boner voting was boner candidate number two, less EPA, more Pruitt.
Yes. Our politically active audience speaking up over the Mayo Chup.
Coming in second with a good solid showing, number one, Mayo Chup.
All right. So number two is your winner for this round, round one. It is now considered candidate number one for round one. It'll go up against candidate number two in boner fight at 9:20. Well, we got to figure out who's the winner of round two at 8:20. I know it's kind of jumping around, it's kind of confusing, but you know, I'm not from New York, so I'm not like Jeff Kaplan. I'm not as smart as he is. So
now, Carrie.
I haven't looked at your boner candidates for the next round.
Yeah.
But do you have another Parkland one in there?
Let me see.
Because I can think of two that could be in there.
I do. Yeah, I do. Let me give you the titles right now.
Okay.
Conduct unbecoming at the Interior Department. Number two, well, I guess a squirt gun could be a sex toy. And number three, the Parkland one. Problem? Solution? Nope.
All right.
Hello, yeah, what?
877.
I got a bad feeling about this.
877-602-9696. You got a bad feeling about what? It's
Hello, yeah, what?
Why do you have a bad feeling?
Well, because people they can call in and talk about anything they want.
Yeah.
They can say anything they want within, there are certain things words you can't say on the radio.
Yeah.
But other than that, you can call in. You can tell us how much you like us. You can tell us how much you hate us. You can promote something. You can ask us a question. We're very helpful.
Problem.
We had, as a matter of fact, last time we were doing Hello, Yeah, What?
Yeah.
We had a woman calling in who wanted to find a school for her child.
Okay.
Said she needed a good school, but she explained the circumstances. And when we heard her, I don't know if you were here, Gina. Carrie and I suggested East Hollywood High School.
Mm-hmm.
My son had been there.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard good things about it, and my son went there and loved it. Well, she took her child there, and she sent us a letter saying, "Thank you so much. This is the best thing that's ever happened to my daughter. It's just wonderful."
But what are you worried about? That all sounds very
Well,
positive.
Well, I just got a bad feeling that it's not going to go so well with
the computer program.
And then there's that.
There's a program that has been installed into our Telos VX phone system here. That I think it's Cambridge Analytica stuff, but The algorithms can read your phone call and the things that you're saying. It even reads your enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And it decides whether your call is boring or not, and it will immediately eject. I think it gives you 30 seconds. And if by 30 seconds you haven't been interesting.
Bring something to the party.
Yeah, I don't.
And it's also, it doesn't mean that the calls have to be complimentary.
No.
They just have to be energetic and good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I was wrong. Not a bully stick. That's what your dog chews on. It's a billy
stick.
Billy club,
Or
like
a billy
billy club.
A billy club, yeah.
Hello, yeah, what?
877-602-9696. It's hello, yeah, what?
All right, let's go to Dominic. Hello, Dominic.
Hello, yeah, what?
Dom, how are you?
Hello, are you getting any static? You okay?
We can hear you.
Hear you fine.
Okay, great. It's just my end. First, can I just say thank you? I've been long-time listener since the early 90s, and I've enjoyed your program a lot, and appreciate what you do.
You're
I'm
welcome.
not trying to put it up for anything.
Okay, you're
However,
welcome.
my question would be, if you could pick a time to stop the process of technology, I mean, anything moving forward.
Yeah.
You could pick a year.
I know, I see what you mean. So where would you stop in time? What time would you like to live in? Yeah, I got you. Okay, I got you. So you could, if you could just go go back and freeze time and stay at a certain progress of technology, where would it be? Mine would be black and white television in the late 50s.
What?
That's what I want to go back to. Black and white TV and a bowl of chicken noodle soup and some crackers. Because I had a cold and I got to stay home from school and watch Beat the Clock.
You'd stop at black and white TV?
You bet.
You wouldn't at least let
It's
it go
a fond
forward
memory.
to color TV?
It's a fond memory. We had a black and white TV. I got to stay home from school because I was sick, and my mom gave me soda crackers and chicken noodle soup.
Well, that's nice and all, but
stop there. It was one of the happiest days of my life.
You can still have chicken noodle soup and watch TV.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
You can even adjust the color so that it's black and white.
It's not the same. My mom isn't here.
Well, that's different.
No.
That's a
different question.
Yeah,
Thanks, Dom.
you've changed the question into something else completely.
Well,
Do you know what I would say?
Huh?
I would say pre-internet.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See?
I like my internet.
I do too, but I have a problem with it, and I think a lot of people have a problem.
Gina has a problem with Twitter.
No,
Instagram.
I am too much.
And I don't. It
on
doesn't.
it.
I
And
can get.
think
I don't
it's-
use it very much
I think it's been bad for kids.
because it's not black and white.
I think kids with social media and bullying and all. I think it's a real problem. I would go back pre-internet.
And see, and I want to see what's all going to come of it.
You're excited
I'm going
for the
to
next
the future.
thing. The next thing, Carrie, is that thing Bill was talking about, how the guy invented the program where you can make people say whatever you want on video. That's dangerous. I don't want it to get that far.
I want to live in Star Trek. That's where I want to go.
All right.
Blaine. Hello, Blaine.
Hi, Blaine.
Hi, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, I have kind of I want to run something by you guys. I have a child that's in junior high that is on a baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
His grades are horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So he also plays travel baseball, which is comp baseball. And I've decided as a father to cut baseballs out until he gets his grades up. I was just wondering what you guys think.
That's pretty hard to do, but
Is the problem that he doesn't have time?
is baseball the problem?
Slightly more, but he's very uninterested and lazy in school.
I don't know.
I don't know. Does he
sure
love baseball so much that you think this will cause him to work harder?
Well, that's obviously why he's going to do it.
Yes.
Or is it just a punishment? Those are two different questions. Is it a punishment, or
I'm
is it, I
hoping-
really think this will be different if you...
I'm hoping because he's very good at baseball, and I think he likes it enough.
Mm.
And going back to really quickly what your other caller said, if I was to have my child go back, I would take away video games. Because,
Well, you can do that.
Yeah,
I mean, you're a dad.
And-
you can do that.
Say,
and I did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I took them
Well,
away.
I don't know.
Doesn't your school do the thing where if you have a certain grade point average, you can't play sports?
Yes, and I don't think his coach checked them very well.
Oh.
Because he wants him to play.
I mean, how old is he?
He's 14.
Yeah.
You haven't tried a good beating,
grade.
have you?
No, I just, you know.
I would like to try that, too.
He's not going to be a professional baseball player, right?
He's a left-hander, and he has a very good arm, which is, I know it sounds.
All right, well.
Maybe it's a try.
You could try it. Just try it and see if it does it.
Steph says
he may just hate you, but
Steph says have his coach use his grades as prerequisite for playing time.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah.
Talk to the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. He's not going to be a professional.
He's not.
Can I just tell all of you parents out there, your kids aren't going to be professional athletes.
Gina can look into the future and know.
Gina, your kids
None of your kids are going to be professional athletes.
Gina, your kids are not going to be professional soccer players.
I know.
So why are you suffering under the tyranny of soccer?
Because he loves it and his grades are fine. He's on the honor roll, so I'm fine with it.
I don't know what.
But
you're
he's
trying
not
to
going to
say.
be a professional.
Traffic.
Although if he's listening, I'm sorry. Yes, honey, you're going to be on Premier League.
You'll show her.
I know you are.
You'll show her.
Man, you. He's going to be playing for Man
Someday someday you will run up with your jersey and say, "In your face, mother."
Even though Arsenal's terrible. Crash northbound I-15, 90th south. Crash northbound I-15, milepost 267, just north of Center Street in Utah County. We've got a crash southbound I-15, 800 north in Orem. Crash northbound I-15, 53rd south on-ramp in Murray, off to the right shoulder. And still that major slowage northbound I-15, round point of the mountain coming into the Draper Sandy area. That's traffic brought to you by Performance Autoplex, a massive selection of used between 3 stores in Bountiful. Every used car is certified. That's how a smile starts. Performance Autoplex in Bountiful.
All right.
Yeah, what?
Continues after these. 877-602-9696.
Hi, I'm Todd Newcomb, and
Tonight on
Rod Decker, undercover.
Ace reporter Rod Decker goes undercover at the state capitol. What really goes on at the legislature? What are the power brokers up to? Rod knows the legislators put up a facade when they see him coming with a camera crew, and so Decker disguises himself as a schoolgirl on a field trip with Mrs. Spencer's 6th grade class.
Okay, kids, now settle down. Before we get back on the bus and go back to school, I want you to meet Governor Mike Leavitt.
Hi, kids. I hope you've enjoyed your visit to the Capitol today. Very important work takes place here. Do you have any questions? Yes, you, the tow-headed kid with the striped shirt.
What's with the car in the basement? Is that the Employee of the Month's car?
No, that's the Mormon Meteor. It was once the world speed record holder. Okay, you, the boy with the hat on backwards.
How come the Capitol has gold on the top of it? Isn't that a waste of money?
Well, Sonny, that's not gold, it's copper. Like a Duracell battery. And we have time for one more question before I have to get back to running the state. You in the back, the tall, homely girl with the pigtails and glasses.
Tell me, Governor Leavitt, will we have to spend tax money on the Olympics? How do you feel about having an official beer of the Olympic Games? What about I-15? Is it on schedule and anywhere near budget? Will tobacco be outlawed in this state?
Hold on here. You ask a lot of questions for a little girl. Say, I know you from somewhere.
I can assure you, sir, that you have never met me before. As you can see, I'm just an average 6th grade girl on a field trip.
You're Rod Decker.
No, my name is LaDonna, and what you're saying is, rather than handle some tough questions from a schoolgirl, you would prefer to make accusations about my true identity.
I knew it. You are Rod Decker. Rod, why didn't you just ask for an interview?
Well, there you have it. Politicians won't even let their guard down in front of innocent children. You can't get a straight answer from them, no matter who you are.
That's tonight on
Rod Decker, Undercover.
on the Channel 2 News at 6 and 10.
Morning show in Utah. That doesn't necessarily mean it's good, but, I mean, come on. You know, we'll take what we can get. X96.
I think there
There
is a tape of Seth Meyers doing that, I think.
Hello, yeah, what? Brought to you by Get Unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
Hello, yeah, what?
So anything.
Yeah.
We haven't had to drop a call yet, or the algorithm has not dropped a call yet, I should say.
It has not kicked in to hang up. We've only 3 weeks now, and it's only hung up on one person.
So you all have been relatively interesting, apparently.
So I thank you for that, because I hate to have that to happen to anybody. Let's go to boring New York City lawyer.
Well, this is going to test it, isn't it?
Uh-oh.
Yes. Hello.
It certainly will. Certainly will test it.
Mhm.
But I'm calling in response to the incident with Jay Whitaker that was brought up earlier this week.
Yes. Yeah.
And I really want to recommend a book. I know that's old media.
Book?
But it's a
Old media.
book called Waking Up White.
Uh-huh.
And it's basically how we as white people need to stop asking our POC friends to do all the hard work about racism, and it's really about us.
Mm-hmm.
And
Let's back up a little
makes
bit.
me
Our
sick.
our friend, African American comedian friend Jay Whitaker, was at a comedy show and performing, and was heckled pretty viciously by someone in the audience, yelling "white power" at him multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the incident.
And now everyone is turning it against Jay.
They are?
Yeah.
Why would they
saying
do
that he handled it poorly?
Well, I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't specifically know.
There is audio because he was recording his set, and it is available. I would suggest that you listen to it, and you'll see how even-handed he was.
Okay.
So
take your word. I take your word for
Yeah.
it, certainly. Anything else, boring New York lawyer?
Just go read Waking Up White. Everybody out there, go read Waking Up White.
All right.
All right. Go,
Thank you.
Go read some contracts.
Let's go to Tom. Hello, Tom.
Hello, yeah,
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning, lords and lady in waiting. Thank you for letting me listen.
You're welcome.
Morning.
Great. Hey, I just wanted to promote a show real quick that I think Corey might have left off. That's coming up next Tuesday, the 17th.
All right.
At the Complex. It's John 5, the guitarist from Rob Zombie and played with Marilyn Manson.
Oh.
That sort of thing. He's going to be playing there as well. So
I know that.
Okay. What's his name again?
John 5.
All right.
The guitarist. He's got a lot of videos on YouTube, and my band Limitless will be opening for him starting at 7:30.
There you go.
So
good job, Tom.
Plug away,
Yeah.
Tom.
All right.
Thank you.
See ya.
All right. Let's go to Devin. Hello, Devin.
Hello, yeah, what?
Thank you for letting me listen.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Mine's pretty simple. Do you prefer red vines or Twizzlers?
I don't know.
Twizzlers.
I don't really know. I don't know.
Red vines are dry.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah. Red vines are dry.
I think I think Twizzlers probably too, because I know they have that kind of greasy sheen to them almost.
I like a greasy sheen.
All right.
There we go. That was
that sounded racist.
like a greasy sheen.
Greasy sheen.
Let's go to Madison. Hello, Madison. The name of the feature is.
Hello, yeah, what?
Go ahead.
Hi. I met Bill and Gina at the Toyota Christmas show thing for I don't know how, but they found me, and I can't remember the other band.
Right.
And I just wanted to talk about how great I don't know how, but they found me is.
Aren't they fun? My favorite song, I don't know if you remember this, Carrie, but it's something like Nobody Likes the Opening Band.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was very,
Yeah, they
very
actually
funny.
just came out with a music video for that song.
Yeah, I love that song.
Is that the name of it, Madison?
Yeah, Nobody Likes the Opening Band.
Yeah.
It's
They're
really
on
funny.
tour right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't have any Utah shows.
Oh, they'll
They're
have some.
stuck.
Yeah,
They'll
they
have
will.
some.
Hopefully soon.
They live
will.
here. They live here. They'll play for us.
Well, Madison, it was a pleasure meeting you at that show, and thanks for listening.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Okay.
man.
Anything else?
Nope, just wanted to say how great
Thank
they
you.
are.
All right.
Ta. Bye-bye. Let's go to Molly Mormon.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well,
Friends, listen.
Yes.
I was able to get some tickets to take my husband and all of my kids to Hamilton.
What, did
And
you have to
tomorrow-
mortgage your house? That's all? Wow.
Oh, no. Well, okay. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Not all of my kids. I had to sell a couple.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay. Sell some kids for Hamilton tickets. Yeah.
Yeah, worth it. Tomorrow, though, is when I'm surprising my kids to tell them. So how do you think I should surprise them to let them know that they'll be going to Hamilton in a couple weeks?
Oh.
Oh, let's see. So
Well, I know you have the soundtrack handy.
you have the tickets?
Yes.
Here's what. So let's say they back in the colonial days, they ate corn pone.
What?
Corn pone. It's kind of a mush, kind of a cornmeal mush.
Okay.
So what you do is you make some bowls of cornmeal mush and you hide the tickets in the mush.
No,
see.
you don't
And
hide
as they're
the
having
no,
them,
you don't hide the no.
As they're
you
eating
don't
the
put
mush,
tickets in the mush.
It would be. Well, don't put the tickets in there. Put put a little note that says you're going to Hamilton.
Put a note in the mush.
No?
No notes in the mush.
Oh, well,
Richie, you have an idea?
I was being creative.
No.
So here's what I think you should do. There's the various lines from Hamilton that everyone knows, right? Like the throwing away your shot and your wait for it.
Yeah, sure, everybody knows those.
Anyone
the Hamilton
anyone
fans.
who is a lot of people, and then it ends with you lead them on a scavenger hunt. And then you get them into the room where it happens, and then there's the tickets there on the table.
How many kids do you have that are going to go? How many are going?
Five are going.
Five are going, and some are not. Have a duel. Have duels. And that's what you do. You have duels.
The prize for the winner of the duel.
Yeah, whoever gets shot doesn't go.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Like a bracket. Okay.
That's what I took away from the show. I left and I was saying, we need to bring back duels. I think that, men slapping each other in the face with gloves and challenging to duels and stuff like that.
All right.
Let's do that.
There
There you go.
Thanks, Molly.
All right.
Have a duel.
Let's go to Kate.
Hello, yeah, what?
Kate.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
So I'm wondering if any of you guys have struggled with certain milestone birthdays. I'm hitting a big one today on Friday the 13th, so it's kind of like,
The way to struggle with milestone birthdays is to do what I do and stop having them.
Oh, that would be great.
I just don't have a birthday.
Milestone birthdays are great. Don't be down about.
What is the milestone?
It's 40.
Oh, God, it's
40
done.
deal.
You're done.
No, you're allowed 25 and 50.
I'm sorry. I disagree.
Don't be sad about
40.
any of them.
When I had my 40th birthday, it was a surprise party. People made me a cake with black frosting, and it had a tombstone on it, and it said "Rest in peace." And then Doug Luna came and delivered a pizza.
That's a whole
That
other
would be
story.
awesome.
No,
It was terrible.
I mean, not to be morbid about it, but there are plenty of people that died at 35 that would give anything to be celebrating a 40th birthday.
Well,
it's a thing to no, but I'm serious. I'm tired of hearing people go, "Oh, I'm 40, I'm 50, I'm
And I don't ever do that because I just don't have a birthday.
Yeah, I don't celebrate.
I don't have them.
I don't celebrate birthdays, so it's not a thing.
I know when my birthday is, and my wife is. She said, "Oh, I got this roller derby tournament, and it's on your birthday. Do you care if I go out of town on your birthday?" And I said, "No, why would I?"
You're lucky to be 40.
Just don't
celebrate being 40,
or don't regard it. If you're having trouble with that, just disregard it.
Yeah,
things must be going great in your life if the thing you're sad about is that you're turning 40. That means things are pretty good if that's the thing that's making you sad.
Is that true? Are things pretty good in your life?
Things are really stressful in my life right now, so I'm trying to make light of the 40th birthday.
See?
But it's still a rough one just because I feel like it's the halfway point in life.
You have friends of a similar age?
Yeah, I do.
By the way, halfway in life is, for me, it's 75. Is
that right?
Halfway.
That's halfway?
That's halfway, 75. That's what I'm going to say. But, if
I
you
feel
have...
like it's all downhill.
No, God, stop.
If you have, listen, you're right. It's all downhill. You're halfway to dying. It's going to be a gloomy, morbid...
You know who's older than 40? Gwen Stefani's older than 40. Amy Adams is older than 40.
What's your point?
Sandra Bullock is older.
They have
beautiful, successful.
They have lots more money, and they're more beautiful than Kate is.
You don't know how Kate looks like.
They have more money, and they're more beautiful and successful. It's Kate's life is a wreck, and...
All right, quit whining about being 40.
We'll see you, Kate.
Hey, Kate.
Thank you.
Let me say this before you go.
Yeah.
Have a happy birthday. Celebrate with your friends, and really, sincerely, happy birthday, Kate.
Thank you.
Is it today?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's today on Friday the 13th.
It's today.
That should be your big concern.
I know, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Am I going to walk under a ladder?
All right, we'll see you.
You'll be fine. Happy birthday.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Hello, yeah, what?
Who's way older than 40? Catherine Zeta-Jones. Way older than 40.
Now, I don't understand your point here. All of those people are more beautiful and more successful than we are.
40 isn't a...
That makes me... And the more you talk, the worse it is. Yeah, I'm not Catherine Zeta-Jones, that's for sure.
Traffic is bad. all the way northbound I-15, coming around Point of the Mountain, all the way up through Sandy. I've got the red cameras through there, which means you're not going faster than 30 miles an hour on the freeway. Weather is clearing up, and things are clearing up otherwise on the roads, but that's a major issue there. I-15 northbound through the south end of the valley. That's traffic. When life feels like it's crashing down on you from above, Lifetime Roofing is here to offer you peace of mind. You and your family have your own personal fortress of reassurance. Lifetime Roofing is simply better than everyone else's, period.
Here are your boner candidates for round 2. Boner candidate boner candidate number 1. Problem? Solution? Nope. Boner candidate number 2, well, I guess a squirt gun could be a sex toy. And boner candidate number 3, conduct unbecoming at the Interior Department.
All right, so we got round 2 of your boner voting coming up after these, along with Big Boy News. Stand by.
It's the Downrange Podcast.
Yeah, hi, I'm John Smith, and I host the weekly podcast called Downrange, which is a weekly podcast about guns and gear, drops every Thursday on the Broadway Media Podcast Network. You can find it on Spreaker, you can find it on iTunes, and you can find it...
Okay, the shop sells, it's called how would you say that with all of those?
Celebrities.
Celebrities.
Yeah, I drug you guys over here. You were just going to walk on by Celebrities Gallery, featuring artwork by John Lennon, Miles Davis, Ronnie Wood, Tony Bennett, David Bowie, Picasso, and others.
Picasso's best rock star of them all.
By the way, it's featuring, what does it say? Artwork. It's featuring overpriced prints of artwork by...
None of that's real?
Well, it's real in the sense that it's, well, for instance, there are a bunch of John Lennon things in there, which Yoko Ono took the originals and had copies made of the originals and then put print numbers on them and selling them.
Bitch.
My point exactly.
There was some
something for you in there.
Well, yeah, there was some artwork by David Bowie in there, and it was it looked like a
which Yoko Ono took and copied and put numbers.
But again, it's mass.
So it's not cool.
But it was David Bowie did a painting of Festus. I swear it was Festus.
Festus?
No.
Well, I mean, he was all white and pale and alone.
And alone. No, but so what if it's I mean, they only make so many of the prints, right? Or it's only cool if you can get the original.
It's hard to say.
There was yeah.
I mean, it really is hard to say. You know, a lot of them say, it's number 475 out of a run of 1,000. But how many runs of 1,000 did they do? I mean,
they may have stopped and then did another run.
Yeah,
that's how they can say a run of 1,000.
I mean, it's okay stuff. I mean, I wouldn't buy it, but
I mean, there was a really cool colored pencil John Belushi
with
in there,
his shirt open and his gut hanging out.
Shirt open. Yeah, that was a great thing. But it was easily $450.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. And there was one thing in there I really liked. They had Hawaiian shirts. Silk Hawaiian shirts, they were about $70-80 a shirt, but they were they're copies of shirts that celebrities have worn. Like there's one that shows a picture of Dustin Hoffman and John Lovitz standing together, and John Lovitz is wearing this Hawaiian shirt with pineapples on it, and you can buy that.
You can buy that shirt.
Yeah.
I want to buy Dustin Hoffman's shirt. I don't want to buy John Lovitz's shirt.
Either way, they'll both have little black curly hairs inside of them, okay? And then here's the question I had, is that there was a whole bunch of drawings of the Rolling Stones, and right in the middle there was this big one of Don Knotts, and I'm wondering why they decided to put Don Knotts in the middle.
That was not Don Knotts, that was Todd of Todd and Aaron. No, it was
Jagger.
Oh, is that who it was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sure looked like Don Knotts.
Well, the older he gets, the closer they look.
I mean, 1960s Don Knotts,
Really?
Yeah.
By the way, Uncle Todd, I always thought you looked like Mick Jagger, not Don Knotts.
That was the joke he was making.
Yeah,
Let's make
honest,
it perfectly clear.
Honest.
77602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, 8:21 right now. Time for round 2 of your boner voting for today. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one is the most deserving to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. Pick a contender to go up against the winner of round 1's boner voting. We'll throw them both in the Boner Dome for boner fight at 9:20. That's when boner of the day will be decided. So pick the winner of this round now to do battle. 1, 2, or 3. We'll do 2 candidates now, then a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive
tickets to see Kiefer Sutherland's band at Park City Live. We'll tell you more about that in a minute.
All right. Let's go to boner candidate number 1. Problem? Solution? Nope. I'll do it right here. An absent-minded science teacher. This is at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, in Parkland, where the shooting took place. So, an absent-minded teacher there who volunteered to be trained to pack a pistol. I guess they started that in Florida schools. And he said, yep, I want to get the training. I'll carry a gun in school for safety. He was busted for leaving his loaded gun in a public bathroom, according to reports. Sean Simpson forgot his Glock 9mm handgun in a bathroom stall during a beach outing at Deerfield Beach Pier on Sunday. When he ran back to grab it, he heard a gunshot, and then he saw a drunk homeless man, identified as 69-year-old Joseph Spataro, holding the gun, and he snatched it back from him. The bullet was later found inside the concrete bathroom wall. There was a reasonable likelihood that the firearm could have ended up in the hands of a child, or that discharge of the firearm could have wounded a person or child, said a police officer who wrote up Mr. Simpson's arrest report. So this is why you don't. This is one of the many reasons why you don't want teachers with guns in schools.
Human error.
Boner candidate number 1, problem? Solution? Nope. Boner candidate number 2, well, I guess a squirt gun could be a sex toy. A Florida police chief who dropped by a pool party last summer and took a photo with bikini-clad subordinates, that is, these are women he works with in the police department.
Okay.
He's in hot water with city officials despite an independent probe that found no wrongdoing.
Okay.
Coral Gable Police Officer Chief Edward Hudak attended the pool party in July at the home of Public Information Officer Kelly Denham. You can see the photo we're talking about at x96.com/live. in Homestead, Florida, after getting an invite from somebody at the party.
Okay.
They said, well, it's an all-girl pool party, but Chief, why don't you stop by?
Is that him in uniform there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hudak was then asked to take a picture, which he did after clearing it with the female cops.
Okay.
Take a picture. He said to all of these women, some of whom are cops and some of whom are administrative people.
I have no problem with this.
So one of them said, take a picture with us. And,
All right.
and he said, well, is it okay with everybody? And they said, yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right.
The photo shows 14 officers alongside Mr. R. Chief Hudak, including several in fairly revealing bikinis.
They're
but,
in a pool.
But Hudak was then asked to take the picture, which he did. It was later posted to Instagram.
Okay.
And Hudak says, it says, I'm spending some quality time with my employees. That was the caption.
All right.
As you can see, he's in full uniform at a female party at which a sex toy is being handed out to party goers.
Is that in the picture?
Well, no.
Okay.
City officials launched an investigation. A 93-page report debunked the allegation that there were any sex toys. That was a squirt gun. One of them's holding something. I think the one in the
yellow
like a squirt
bikini.
gun. Yeah.
Yeah. It could be a sex toy.
But as it turns out, you look at it closely, it's a squirt gun. There's another one.
Yeah.
There's kind of squirt guns you use in the pool.
Yeah.
You fill them with water and then
So
you squirt
this
each other.
is not a big deal.
No. And yet, city officials are still. Well, I think they placed him on paid administrative leave because
Really?
city officials are upset about it.
Oh.
Even an individual serving in the capacity of police officer must remain cognizant at all times that his or her conduct may be closely scrutinized by subordinates, the media, and citizens.
I mean,
they're saying it doesn't look good for the city. It looks to me like that's very good for the city. In a way, it shows that they work together, they're happy together, they have a good relationship.
I think it's fine.
I do too. Boner candidate number 2. Well, I guess a squirt gun could be a sex toy. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, conduct unbecoming at the Interior Department.
All right, boner candidate number 3 for round 2, coming up after this Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by.
The Melting Pot is perfect for a quick bite after work or before a night out downtown. Locally owned and operated at the corner of Market and Main Street. Reservations at meltingpot.com.
This is a horrible story. A Michigan man who'd been released from jail on a $100,000 bond while awaiting trial on rape charges.
Mm-hmm.
You hear about this?
No.
Murdered the 16-year-old girl who'd been expected to testify against him.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. The teenager, Mujay Dumboya, a high school student from Grand Rapids, Michigan, was to testify this month at the trial of the man, Quinn Anthony James, who's in his early 40s. She disappeared in January, later discovered dead. In addition to premeditated, now first-degree murder, Mr. James has been charged with kidnapping and conspiracy. Prosecutors have also charged a second man, Gerald Bennett, with one count of conspiracy. Why they ever released him?
Yeah.
On a $100,000 bond. That's really going to come back to bite whoever did that. This story just kind of. It just drives me crazy. And I've seen stories like this before about Bashar al-Assad and his wife, the president of Syria I'm talking about, and the woman who is dubbed the First Lady of Hell.
Yeah. They're horrible, evil people.
And there's a story here, and there's been stories like this before, but it's worth noting again, this is in the New York Post, that they live a pretty extravagant lifestyle while just a few, and I mean like 10 miles away, people are dying in this war in Syria, this ongoing war in Syria. They own an opulent palace estimated to be worth $1 billion in Damascus, Syria, less than 10 miles from eastern Ghouta, where innocent people are being massacred by pro-government forces. Once known as Syria's Princess Diana, Asma, his wife, is now a reviled figure in her own country. And there are stories about how much she spends on jewelry and clothing while the war wages on. And there was a story last week, I don't know if you saw it, of Assad wanted to go to the scene of of where a building had been attacked, a little ways outside of Damascus. So he drove his Bentley to the scene of, and it shows him, and he was by himself, and it shows him driving this, I think it was a Bentley or a Rolls or something, driving this Bentley through and there's just rubble everywhere. And there he is, you know. These people don't have consciences. They don't have consciences. Embattled EPA Chief Scott Pruitt wanted to fly on an airline that was not a government-approved list, so he could rack up more frequent flyer miles.
Yeah.
So this guy has, you know, he's like always looking for ways to pinch pennies on the government.
Is he the
dime.
same one that was living for $50?
Yeah, same guy.
Pruitt, already on the hot seat for profligate spending of taxpayer money, also insisted on staying in luxury hotels that cost far more than the government guidelines allowed. This is going on in a hearing, by the way. Yeah. They're looking at this. They're investigating it, and apparently, so his staff would go stay in these government-approved hotels, which are budget hotels, and he'd go stay in, you know, the Ritz-Carlton, while they were staying at the, you know, the Holiday Inn Express or the Resident Inn.
How does he still have a job?
Because Donald Trump likes him for some reason.
Because he's dismantling all of those awful regulations.
I think there may be if they can muster the votes, they might get him out of there. And he could be impeached. The Congress could say, no, you're done. Oh, by the way, speaking of Congress and doing investigations, when Zuckerberg appeared before the Senate, it was pretty horrible.
Yeah.
The Senate had, but then did you hear the Congress? He went to the House of Representatives.
No.
And it was quite surprising, really, because usually you think of the senators as being the more, you know, the adults and the real serious ones and the guys who know everything about everything. And you think of the congressmen, the House of Representatives, as being, you know, kind of, you know, a bunch of hayseeds and, you know, people who just want to, you know, cause trouble. And they gave him some very serious and good questions.
Really? Good.
Yeah, there was excellent testimony or excellent questioning from members of the House of Representatives. And I don't have time to go into specifics here, but and I think maybe that something will come out of this, that they're talking seriously about coming up with a new set of regulations, and there probably should be, about how companies like Google, but specifically, or not Google, Facebook, specifically Facebook, how they should handle information, people's information, private information. It was really interesting questioning, too. They say, you know, Mr. Zuckerberg, your company's, you can, using Facebook, people can pay each other. They can send each other money through Facebook. Are you a financial institution? Well, no, I wouldn't say that. You know, I see that you're going to be broadcasting. You've got rights to doing 23 NFL games or NBA games or something. Oh, it's baseball games, Major League Baseball games. Are you an entertainment or television company? Well, no, I wouldn't say that. So what are you? I mean, that was the whole thrust of one congressman's questioning, and I thought that was excellent. You are so all-encompassing. What kind of nobody can really answer it. What kind of a company are you? And that needs to be defined and regulated. And I think even Zuckerberg is sort of, and Facebook is leaning that way. You know, maybe we do have to have some.
It's taken on it's become something it was not intended to be.
Yeah.
And so
sort of gotten out of his control.
Yeah.
Even. There is the Pope. I had this story for a couple of days, Gene. Did you see what the Pope doing something good here? If I can.
What did he do?
Well, he had. Now the Pope is supposed to be infallible.
Well, yeah, that's what I keep getting told.
And apparently, he said he's not infallible.
Hold it.
He demonstrated that he was not infallible by doing
what?
Something.
Yes.
I can't. I would like to give you the details, but my computer will not. Maybe it'll let me now. You see,
I have breaking news.
Okay.
Go.
Will Ferrell?
Yes.
I know who that is.
Reportedly taken to the hospital after he was involved in a 2-car accident. The SUV he was riding in flipped over.
Wow.
Doesn't say. Car was reportedly driving down Orange County Freeway, was sideswiped by another car. Farrell was one of 3 passengers in the car. They were all taken to the hospital, but Farrell was seen talking on his cell phone as he was loaded into the ambulance. So,
hey, guess what happened to me? No, it's just going to take me to...
Well enough to be doing that.
It's just kind of a precaution. Pope Francis admitted he made a grave mistake in the Chile sex abuse case. Remember, he was in Chile.
Yeah. He apologized for a while ago. He apologized almost immediately after. Is this an old story?
No. It says here, I don't think he did. He says he admitted Wednesday that he made grave errors in judgment in Chile's sex abuse scandal and invited the victims he had discredited to Rome to beg for their forgiveness. In an extraordinary public letter, Francis also summoned all of Chile's bishops to the Vatican for an emergency meeting in the coming weeks to discuss repairing damage from the scandal, which was badly tarnished the reputation of the church. Francis had blamed a lack of truthful and balanced... he said, I didn't have all the information. That's why he accused the victims of being somehow culpable in the sex abuse. And now he's saying, I really am sorry. Please come to the Vatican.
Someone needs to remind him that he's infallible. He doesn't have to do these things. Sports weather traffic.
I just want to remind you about home opener for the Royals tomorrow at Rio Tinto Stadium. There are still a few tickets available, but it will sell out by tomorrow. So if you really want to go, I would suggest you get them today. And yes, your ticket is also a ticket to the concert, which will happen after the game. You will be able to go down on the field if you want, or stay in your seats. You can bring a blanket if you want to put it out on the field if that sounds good.
Can you bring a picnic?
No, because they have food there, Bill. Don't.
Can I bring my dog?
No. Okay. No. Oh, that's sports. Weather, it's much colder today, but it looks like we're tapering off as far as the precipitation goes. 38 for a high. We'll warm up tomorrow. For that game, it'll actually be quite a bit warmer. It'll be close to 60 by tomorrow. Traffic, we've got crash southbound I-15 at 1600 North in Orem. We've got a crash eastbound 5400 South 6 West in Murray. That is off to the right shoulder. Crash northbound I-15 at 90th South in Salt Lake. Northbound I-15 just north of Center Street in Utah County, so still dealing with some residual slowage this morning. Looks pretty slow going around Point of the Mountain up through the Sandy Draper area, northbound I-15. Haster Games, Magic Dominaria Open House is this Saturday, April 14th from noon to 6. Come get a promo card just for coming and a free deck to keep and play with. Stick around and learn how to play. Haster Games, 6831 South State, and online at hastergames.com.
Here's boner candidate number 3, conduct unbecoming at the Interior Department. The lead spokesperson for the Interior Department, this is the one that Zinke oversees, labeled a CNN reporter with a vulgar insult after being pressed to answer questions about Secretary Ryan Zinke's travel. Emails released as part of public records request show. Renee, this is the reporter, this is a quote, is an effing idiot, agent spokeswoman Heather Swift wrote to one of her colleagues, referring to CNN correspondent Renee Marsh.
Wow.
She sure sounds like one, responded the deputy director of communications, Russell Newell. The insult stemmed from an inquiry in which Renee Marsh asked the agency's press team several follow-up questions about Ryan Zinke's trip to Las Vegas, where he met with the Vegas Golden Knights hockey team, and she was also asking about other taxpayer-funded flights. And Ms. Swift promptly replied that she was checking into it. Then the following day, Ms. Renee Marsh, the reporter, emailed again saying, can I get some information? Well, we're working on it. Marsh sent some more emails, so she was being persistent. Interior finally sent a response that evening, but failed to answer several of Marsh's specific questions. And then Newell emailed his colleague a draft of an email he was going to send to the reporter. I was about to send this to Ms. Marsh, but I'll send it to you instead. Maybe it'll make me feel better. I just had to get it off my chest. She's an effing idiot. Now, that was not supposed to be made public. But they sent that to Renee Marsh.
Oops.
Renee Marsh got it, and yep, boner candidate number 3, conduct unbecoming at the Interior Department.
All right, let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, problem, solution, nope. A teacher at Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. He said, I'll volunteer to learn how to carry a gun at school. Well, he left his loaded gun in a bathroom, and somebody got it and shot it. Fortunately, nobody was injured. Boner candidate number 2, well, I guess a squirt gun could be a sex toy. Police chief in Florida reprimanded for going to a pool party and taking a picture with some of his bikini-clad coworkers. It seems harmless. It is harmless, but the city is all upset about it because it doesn't look good. And boner candidate number 3, conduct unbecoming at the Interior Department.
All right, let's go. This is round 2 of your boner voting. You've got to decide of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst? Which one is the most deserving to go forward to boner fight and get that 50-50 chance of becoming boner of the day? So pick your contender right here. The winner here will go up against the winner of round 1, and that'll all be decided at 9:20. So 1, 2, or 3 this round. Pick the candidate that you think should win this round. Put that number of the candidate in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. Easy. Or you can call 877-602-9696. Katie's taking votes in the producer's booth using your voice. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Voting Friday, April 13, and vote there. You've got less than 300 seconds. This is round 2. Let's go.
X96 is Utah's original alternative.
Unless we Utahns are diligent, our taxes will be raised without our knowledge. Did you know that right now there's an organization who thinks they know better than you how to save Utah schools? This group wants to raise your taxes. Wouldn't you agree that's just not right? Well, so does Republican Representative Arthur McCarty from Roadside Table, Utah. He began the group opposed to the suggested 10-cent Jello tax. Citizens against People for Alternative Revenue Tax Income believe that not only is the proposed Jello tax wrong, it's also cost prohibitive. The state would have to establish a Jello commission and then open costly state-run Jello stores. Then it's only a matter of time before racketeers would begin smuggling in gelatin from neighboring states. Taxing green gelatin would also place an unfair burden on those people who mostly buy this product. Large LDS families, already on a tight budget, would end up paying for a greater portion of public education than would people with no children at all. And that's just not fair.
Hello, I'm Republican Representative Arthur McCarty. Please call your state legislatures and tell them to vote NO on the green Jello tax. It's time to get big government off our backs.
Paid for by Citizens Against People for Alternative Revenue Tax Income.
Just a quick note here, is a statistic for you. Only 1 out of 9 people say that they would donate, when they died, would donate their uterus for transplant.
Why only?
One
now,
out
are
of 9.
these people?
Only 1 out of 9 said that they would allow a family member to donate a uterus. They're doing uterus transplants in they're playing God in Russia or someplace like that.
Are these people that would donate other organs?
Yeah.
So you can have my eyes, you can have my kidneys.
Can't have my uterus.
Why?
Uterus donation, they think is. Oh, it was in Saudi Arabia. I think it was done. Doctors in Saudi Arabia. I guess they. I don't know. Okay, Gina, would you donate your uterus?
You can have whatever you want of mine when I die. Because guess what? I'm dead.
Richie's raised his hands.
I want your uterus.
You can have it, honey.
I'd keep it in a box. I'd use it for a catcher's mitt.
I mean, please take everything is very well preserved.
I think people think it's just too creepy. Your uterus is well preserved?
Sure.
It's low mileage.
Only
One
2
owner?
kids.
It's a one
I
owner.
only drive it to and from church on Sunday, and that's it.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Good.
Good.
Please
Okay.
have it.
All right.
Take my uterus.
Time to award round 2 of your boner voting.
And round 2 of the boner voting is brought to you by a Diet Pepsi. In part.
And Kiefer Sutherland in concert with special guest Rick Brantley Wednesday, April 18th at Park City Live. To purchase tickets, go to parkcitylive.net.
We had boner candidate number 1, which was problem, solution, nope. Then there's boner candidate number 2. Well, the first one was the teacher who left the gun in the bathroom, and he's at Parkland, the high school there where the shooting was. Boner candidate number 2. Well, I guess a squirt gun could be a sex toy. This is a police chief in trouble for nothing. He went to this party where some of his female officers were having a pool party. He went. He was in uniform. They said, "Hey, can we take a picture? Let's take a picture." Yes, everybody agreed. No big deal, but for some reason the city council is getting all over him. And boner candidate number 3, conduct unbecoming at the Interior Department, an Interior Department spokeswoman calling a CNN reporter an effing idiot for just doing her job. So, do you have the results?
I do not.
Let's see.
Oh, I don't either.
I don't believe I have them either.
Mm-hmm.
There's, nope. So you'll have to come in.
It's a mystery.
You'll have to come in. Somebody will have to come in here.
Number 2.
Is boner candidate number 2, well, I guess a squirt gun could be considered a sex toy. That's interesting. Right.
All right, there's your winner of round 2. It will go up against the winner of round 1. Boner fight is determined by you at 9:20. Who will be boner of the day? You decide.
I'm anxious to find out.
So, last night, I'm tucking in my youngest child into bed, Muhammad.
Do you literally tuck?
Oh, yes.
Like you go in and you just tuck the covers in there, so in there real tight?
I can tell you this because he's at school and won't hear it.
Oh.
I still rock him before bed.
Oh. Now, if any of his friends heard that.
You mean in your arms?
Yeah.
Oh, if any of his friends heard that.
Do you remember the glider that I got when I was pregnant with him?
Yeah.
Remember from Babinski's that was in the studio? I still have that.
Oh, yeah?
In his room. And before bed.
Does he get in it?
So I sit down.
Kind of not good.
No. I sit down and he gets in my lap and we just kind of talk before bed. It's not like
All right.
It's not like, rockabye baby rock. It's just we have a little.
Okay.
And he was a little sad.
Oh?
For an unknown reason?
He just kind of seemed a little down. I said, what's the matter? Which that's why this time of night is good, because we you turn the lights down. It's kind of quiet time. And
can I come over? Will you rock me?
And I said, what's the matter? He's like, well, I was thinking about sushi. Now, he didn't mean sushi, the
food?
The food.
Oh.
So when we went to Hawaii, he had a stuffed shark.
Oh, I see. Which
he named Sushi.
Yeah.
And Sushi was with us the whole trip.
Did he eat the stuffed animal?
No.
Oh, okay.
But when we landed back home, get off the plane, walk back, down to where you get your luggage. So you've gone past security. We get all the way down there. Where's Sushi? I left Sushi on the plane.
Oh, that's tragedy.
I sent Dylan a picture of Sushi. Did you not get it? There he is.
Oh, he's like a little...
He's got a surfboard.
He's got a surfboard under his arm.
That's to throw you off the track so when he attacks and eats you.
He's even got the safety strap around his...
Yeah, so you don't lose it.
Around his tail so you don't lose the surfboard.
I'm not a shark. I'm a surfer.
And he said, I was just thinking about... Because at the time... And they don't let you go back. And he said, I know it's not real, but, like in Toy Story, when the toys get left behind and they try really hard to get back home to their family.
Well, maybe Sushi. Did you say maybe Sushi? Maybe. And then did you sing Baby Mine? Or?
So scary. Maybe did you ever have a toy that you lost that you thought maybe it was trying to get back to you somehow and just wanted to be with this boy?
See, here's the difference between your boy and me, Gina. I have never lost any of my toys. I have always kept track of my precious, precious toys.
So I went on the Delta website. And of course you can file a claim.
Yeah.
A lost and found claim. And I'm typing in stuffed shark with surfboard on this flight. I mean, I'm sure the odds of getting it back are...
Well, from what I understand, there is a gigantic area out there of just lost and found stuff.
And there must be a lot of stuffed animals there.
I would think.
Because kids are careless.
Well, we have friends of the program who listen out there at the airport.
If anybody's seen Sushi...
Tweet a picture of Sushi.
Okay.
And connect the airline and connect the airport and do it that way.
Okay.
And maybe they'll see it and go,
I'm just wondering why you've waited so long to file a claim.
Well, because at the time I'm like, yeah, that's terrible. You lost your stuff. And then he didn't mention it again. Last night was the first time he mentioned it since we've been home. I'm like, oh, he's really upset about Sushi.
Or we buy a new one because our listeners in the chat room found the exact same one.
Oh, really?
For only $16.
So, Gina, you can do your typical lying trick,
and then
and say, "Here."
You mean saving your child's feelings?
No, you stick him in his room, just unbeknownst to him,
like he showed up,
like he showed up,
Toy
like
Story.
He crawled his way from the airport to.
And if you do that, Gina, I think you are doing your child a disservice.
Why?
I think you say, "Honey, I know how much you miss Sushi, so I got you another one."
Nope.
No, it's not the same thing.
No, I think you dirty up the new one a little bit, like that he went through a lot of stuff between the airport and your house. You get him a little piece of luggage because he had to make the way to make the trip. And then you don't put him in the room.
You guys are ruining.
Where do you put him?
You put him somewhere like in the yard, right? Like he's still making the way to the house. I'm almost. Mom, I came home and I know you said it wasn't real because we talked about it, but I saw him on the stairs. Yeah,
your kid.
100%.
This is why your child will never be a professional soccer player.
Right.
This is why, because he gets cuddled, he gets tucked in, and then you're going to play this elaborate hoax on him.
Yes.
Kids need to know the truth. truth of
No,
things.
sometimes-
Life is not a damn movie. Okay?
No, but the stuffed animal love is real. I had one that was my mom's growing up, and then she gave it to me.
Oh,
And
that's
it-
even more.
And it had the music box on the inside, and I still had it, but I broke the music box, and I cried for nights on end. I just want to hear the song again.
I had Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy.
Did you lose them?
Well, I don't know. I can't. I think I might. I got them when I was 30, though. So it's. I really liked them. I mean, I loved them, but it was not like when I was a kid.
I've got more stuffed animals than I care to admit.
I have them.
I really do.
You have one?
Oh, you have my Raggedy Ann?
I have your Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy.
Oh, I knew I'd given them to one of my kids.
And if it makes him feel better, there was a situation similar with Bill and I. We went to Lava a few weeks ago.
This is my son, Dylan.
Bill left his bottle of bourbon there.
Oh, yeah, well.
And he cried for nights and kept saying, I hope the bourbon finds its way
it
home.
would walk?
Did bourbon find?
Because it's alive when I'm not looking at it.
Could the bottle of Old Forester find its way back to me?
It was a special batch. I called Lava Hot Springs City Council, filed a claim.
Drinky, you're back!
So what I did was I went to the liquor store, bought a bottle of Old Forester, drank about 3/4 of it, and left
Put
it on the
yard?
porch.
Yeah, put it on the. His kid came back to me.
Oh, sushi.
You have those really? You have those? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'd like to see them.
Oh, let's see. Your last check of traffic. Things are getting better.
Okay.
Crash southbound I-15, 1600 north in Orem. Crash at Main Street and Vine Street. That's in Tooele County. That's why John Smith will be late today. Any crash that happens anywhere in Tooele County makes him late for work. That's traffic brought to you by when it feels like life is crashing down on you from above. Lifetime Roofing is here to offer you peace of mind. You and your family have your own personal fortress of reassurance. Roofs at Lifetime Roofing are simply better than everyone else's, period.
All right. We will take a break. We'll be back. Do we have stuff to give away, or do we? It's just Boner Fight is coming up.
Boner Fight, and let's see. There was,
no,
a Thomas Dolby story for you.
Oh, okay. KXRK Provo.
Hi, this is Todd Newcomb. Every Sunday morning at 9, join me as I take you back to the era of dial-up internet. Be Kind, Please rewind stickers on the movies you rented from Blockbuster, pagers, and 1-800-COLLECT. We even go a little deeper into the era of Rubik's Cubes, Ferris Bueller, and the Snoopy Snow Cone Machine for some of your new wave classics as well. Get the full alternative experience with X96 Classic every Sunday morning at 9 on X96.
Hey Del Taco fans, it's time to play What Would You Choose? Today's question, given the choice, would you choose to be introduced with spicy before your name or saucy? Hard choice. Luckily, with Del Taco's 2-for menu, it's even easier to get exactly what you want. Now, you can mix and match any 2 classic burritos, like the Del Combo and the classic grilled chicken burrito, and pay just $5. Finally, the freedom to choose exactly what you want for just $5. Only with Del Taco's 2-for menu. That's unfreshing believable. Price and participation may vary. Seafood season at Del Taco is finally here, so we're showing love to some of our most devoted seafood fans. Jessica tweeted,
"At Del Taco, impatiently waiting for shrimp tacos to come back."
Well, Jessica, wait no more. Jumbo shrimp tacos are back. Topped with house-made pico de gallo and crunchy shredded cabbage. Forget fish on a bun and get 2 jumbo shrimp tacos for just $5. And Jess...
who I am.
Radio from Hell on X96.
Well, you'll have to excuse me because I have to use the bathroom.
It's one of the most hotly debated public lands issues of the past several decades. The reintroduction of the gray wolf into Yellowstone National Park. Now, a similar controversy is brewing in Utah's state capital. Tonight on PBS, Frontline looks at the movement to reintroduce penguins into Salt Lake City. As recently as 40 years ago, Magellanic penguins roamed free in the tree-lined neighborhoods of Salt Lake's Avenues district. The flightless birds had few natural enemies, and their huge flocks were a common sight. But unrestricted hunting, family pets turned predator, and encroaching civilization all took their toll on these funny, waddling creatures, and they eventually became extinct in Salt Lake City. Join Frontline correspondents as they talk to the old-timers who still remember what it was like when penguins walked the Abs.
Well, what I remember most was the mess. Now, there were some that thought the penguins was cute. That is until they lived up here and had to clean up all the poop.
Oh, I do miss 'em. I remember when I was just a little shaver. You'd fall asleep to the sounds of 'em making that weird call they do. It was kind of scary. And kind of romantic, too, when you think about it.
Frontline will talk to the people who want to bring the penguins back to Salt Lake and to those who oppose it.
The penguins were here as a natural part of the environment. The delicate ecosystem of the Avenues district and of Capitol Hill, for that matter, will remain out of balance until the penguins are brought back.
Well, most of us in law enforcement in Salt Lake are against reintroducing the penguin into the city. I mean, we've got our hands full already, what with the gangs and such. Besides, a pack of them little bastards killed my grandfather's brother years ago. You know, they say that penguins are shy and won't approach humans, but I know different.
Will the penguins return to Salt Lake City? It's an in-depth look at the entire issue tonight on Frontline.
Pilots is coming, but I'm excited that the cult is coming with them.
I wonder if they still sound that good.
I bet they do. And Bush, all of them together at USANA Amphitheater Monday, August 20th. Tickets are on sale now at all SmithTix locations and SmithTix.com. Or perhaps you'll win them from us right now. I'm going to give you a keyword, and you'll text that to 33986 for a chance to win. The keyword is CREEP, C-R-E-E-P, CREEP. I've heard back from Delta Airlines
about sushi.
So I sent out a tweet right after we were talking about it. It says, Delta Airlines, help! My son left his stuffed shark on our flight from Honolulu on April 5th. Please help make sushi make it home. And almost immediately from Delta, I get, oh no! I'm sorry to hear this. We'll do our best to reunite Sushi and your son. Please fill out the lost item form so we can start working on this. And I filled it out.
My, that computer is really amazing that it can do that.
See, you wanted to be living pre-internet. See? See how cool it is?
See what the internet can do?
See how cool it can be sometimes?
It can do a lot of bad things.
When it's not calling you a libtard cuck?
Yeah.
I saw a car yesterday, and it said on the side of it, like snowflake rides. And I think it was might have been an Uber or something, but it said.
Does that mean for us?
I guess.
I'm not a snowflake. I'm a liberal elitist, a West Coast liberal elitist.
Are you a limousine liberal?
A limousine liberal elitist.
I'm a welfare queen.
No.
Hey, Carrie, I sent you that email about Thomas Dolby.
Oh, okay.
And there's a little video in there, and I think audio. So yesterday, Thomas Dolby, you played a Thomas Dolby song.
I've had an earworm for about 3 days of Thomas Dolby's Aliens Ate My Buick album. It's rare I do an entire album earworm.
You're
Usually
going
it's
through
just
the
a
whole
song.
track by track?
Track by track.
Now, I didn't know really what Thomas Dolby was doing these days. We discussed it a little, but we didn't. So he's a professor of arts here in the States at Johns Hopkins University.
Mm-hmm.
But the Fells Point via London musician, this is according to the Baltimore Sun, dusted off his initial claim to fame recently, his 1982 hit single, Blinded Me with Science, in honor of... There's the song original.
Anyway.
In honor of Professor Trash Wheel Blinded Me with Science, a new collaborative beer between Peabody Heights Brewery and Waterfront Partnership's Healthy Harbor Initiative. I know that's confusing, but it gets a little clearer here. So there's a beer called Professor Trash Wheels.
Okay.
And their Facebook page posted a promotional video for the beer starring Thomas Dolby lip-syncing the pop song at a brewery and inside Professor Trash Wheel. So he's using this. He said, "Yes, you can use the name and you can use my song." And he appears in this little video. So I guess he doesn't really sing. He just lip syncs.
He's just lip syncing. He's walking around the brewery lip syncing, but dancing.
So you mean he's making money off selling the rights to his song?
I don't think he. I think he just gave it to him. It has to do with this thing called the Healthy Harbor Initiative as well, which they're doing. It's an environmental cleanup of harbors in Baltimore.
I'll say this, his lip-syncing skills haven't gotten any better.
I think it's cool. He's a professor of arts at Johns Hopkins.
That's very cool.
And he just kind of lays low these days, although I guess he's really well known in the area. People love him in Baltimore.
Be more.
That's a place I'd like to go, except I understand it's really, this is a great song.
It's like going to Cancun, Bill. You'll get
I know. It's a dangerous city, but I want to go there and have... where they spread the papers out over the table, and they give you wooden mallets, and then they just dump a big pot of stone crabs, I think they are.
And you just dive in.
And you just start pounding them and eating them. Oh, man.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that right now.
Oh, there's a place out on the west side that does that.
Do it at your house.
Well, I have done it at my house. I've had a
lot of work, but
it is.
Is this helping your earworm, or is it making it worse?
I don't know. I've never been able to determine the science of that.
That's because you're blinded by it.
I guess.
Science!
Well, that's a pleasant song.
The Inner Harbor Initiative have collected more than 1 million pounds of trash from out of the harbor water.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. That's a stupid name for a beer, though.
It is.
It's too complicated.
Professor Trash Wheels.
Doesn't sound like something you want to consume.
That's the name of the brewery.
impressive. Sometimes it's easy to forget all the bad things you did to me. You did to me.
Very good.
It is. This album is quite good. It's one that didn't get a lot of traction except here at
our station.
At our station.
Yeah,
but
I wonder, did he just blow his wad on that? Did he
What do
just?
you mean?
Well, I don't. Sometimes you just do something and it's like every track on that record is really quite good.
I think he has worked continually. We just don't. He's been like a producer and stuff.
Right, but he hasn't.
He's not. Been,
but he's not done another record. I mean,
I don't know that he's tried. I think he's a behind the scenes guy.
It's like when I saw Hamilton last night. I just thought, how can you ever top this? It's like Einstein was quite young when he developed the theory of relativity, and then he was a professor after that, and did, but he never really.
He topped out at a young age?
And it happens a lot of times. People do one great thing, and then spend the rest of their lives trying to reproduce it unsuccessfully,
Well,
or to find another thing.
Is that worse than doing your great thing, a day before you die, and then?
No, but I think it's frustrating a lot of times, probably, for people who do something and particularly at a young age. They do something that's just incredible, and then they can't top it.
If I had a Hamilton, I'd just stop.
You wouldn't even try.
I understand that.
I did it.
Like your Harper Lee.
Yeah,
you're right.
Harper
You're right
Lee.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
And she really stopped. She did sort of
Yeah.
stop. And I've seen performances, acting, particularly in film, where I've said, that person does not need to do anything ever again.
Harper Lee did.
And now people do. I mean, for instance, when I saw Billy Bob Thornton in Sling Blade, and fortunately he's given great performances, but if he had just stopped there, if he just, that's it, I'm done, that would have been worth it,
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back with Boner Fights. Stand by.
It's the Downrange.
Rod Stewart.
What?
I just saw this. There's pictures of Rod Stewart and his wife getting a cozy lunch date at the Subway near their Essex home. There's a picture of them sitting in the Subway. They ordered 2 6-inch subs.
Really? What beverage did they have, Gina? Did they have? I don't know if Subway is a Coke or a Pepsi venue. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I hope they had a cola.
You don't think of Rod Stewart as.
I don't think of Rod Stewart. Period.
And he didn't wait in a car and send his wife in.
Why would he?
He's just sitting there.
Why would he? He's a chivalrous man.
If I'm really hungry, I stop by the Subway. Come on, honey, let's get some.
See?
Thank you.
Radio from Hell, proudly giving you incomplete sports and traffic with Gina Barberi on X96.
Well, it's a hashtag now. Save Sushi.
Who?
It's a Chef Tom, our friend Chef Tom.
Has started Save
Sushi. And I've heard back from Delta that they're on the case.
Good.
So
Thank
we're going to follow this for you all day till we reunite Sushi and Muhammad.
I don't know. You say they're on the case, but all they did was send you some busy work.
Yeah.
You know.
They
don't
said
care. They don't
it says
care.
right there. They're sorry to hear this. We'll do our best to reunite Sushi to your son.
They
It
don't
says
care.
right there.
They don't care.
I believe.
This is just another case of an animal having a bad time on a plane.
Yeah, and see, and I think you should just buy it. A guy in the chat room found where you can just buy it. I love that whole staging it as though he arrived.
He tried so hard.
And can you imagine the story that he will tell his kids?
Yeah.
You know? And that's what she did?
Maybe take the surfboard off. He lost his surfboard.
No. He surfed back home.
All right. We got Boner Fight coming. Stand by for that. First, big boy news and Opinioendo, a reasonable amount, brought to you by...
Wednesday, the 18th, is free real estate seminar day. Learn how to start, presented by Aaron Haga from Stonebrook Real Estate. Attendees receive free refreshments and one-on-one consultation to design your own investment plan. To sign up, call 801-278-1111 or email info@stonebrook.com.
I was kind of contemplating this the last couple of days with all of the Trump people who are, quitting or now under scrutiny by the FBI or the CIA. We have, of course, not Kelly, Flint. Flint or Flynn?
Flynn.
Michael Flynn. That's what I'm going. Paul Manafort. We have Michael Cohen. I think it is Michael.
It is.
The lawyer whose office got got ransacked. They broke into it.
No.
Now, and then who was that first guy that kind of gave some tests, gave some evidence, and
it's hard to keep track of.
He's a minor functionary.
I'm not sure who you're thinking.
So anyway, all of these guys and maybe more surrounding Donald Trump in trouble, and then and so I'm thinking, and the speculation has been, maybe Cohen will sing. He'll flip and
says who?
And give testimony to Robert Mueller or to other prosecutors. Maybe Manafort, Paul Manafort. I don't want to go to jail. I'll give you a testimony. I'll tell you what I know. But then I thought, why would they do that, really?
Well,
because
for leniency?
Well, because of the power of the presidency. I mean, yeah, okay.
It's going to keep you out of jail?
You bet. Presidential pardon. Boom. It's done. You are free to go. Presidential pardon. And he has that power. It's a very
But he can't.
But there's
powerful.
He can't pardon anybody until they've been charged.
Well, that's
and there's
and convicted.
And convicted.
And, so you want to risk that?
So there's that.
Because he's just petty enough to go, I'm not going to.
He has been waiving the possibility of pardons around, which is also illegal.
So, but what I'm saying is, I think it's entirely possible, he says to Paul Manafort, he says to Flynn, he says to Cohen, boys, and Cohen would certainly do it because he's been that loyal. Don't talk. Do not talk. If you get convicted, I got the power to pardon.
What if he is impeached before he has the power to pardon anybody? I wouldn't.
Then there's
wouldn't risk that.
But the president can only pardon federal crimes, and Cohen is being charged on a state level.
Ooh.
He's about to pardon
Scooter Libby.
So
setting a precedent.
Yep.
I don't think if I were their attorney, and I'm not, I would not tell my client that they should count on that happening.
Well,
you're better off.
Donald Trump has people who are so loyal to him. Paul Manafort, Cohen. I don't know about Flynn, but certainly Manafort and Cohen.
Flynn's already talked. They've already.
Oh, well, then he's out. But then Manafort, Cohen, they're loyal.
They've got enough on Manafort to.
Hoda Kotb
Yes.
I think she's going to sing. She'll turn state's evidence.
Oh.
She says she still keeps in touch with disgraced former talk show Today host Matt Lauer.
Why?
We keep in touch with him. I mean, look, this is one of those complex situations, Cotby said. I've known him since I started working at NBC in 1998. When I was sick with breast cancer, he was the first person to call me. He helped in ways that, well, you know, he was an incredible guy in that way. There's that Matt, and then there's the Matt that the accusers speak of. So that's why she keeps in touch with him. But also Gayle King says she keeps in touch with Charlie Rose. He tells me he's fine because I said, I'm worried about you. He keeps assuring me that there's no reason to be worried, but I am worried about him. I am. And I do care about him. He was a big part of my life for 6 years. So I can't just turn that off, but I also can't dismiss the stories that I'm hearing, and I do take them seriously. Who has the most, who has the right reaction to this? Nora O'Donnell, who said of Charlie Rose, who was also ousted amid sexual harassment allegations, I think we know now that his behavior was abusive and predatory, and there's absolutely zero tolerance when it comes to that. End of story.
Yeah.
Isn't that?
Absolutely.
And don't you think Hoda Kotb ought to say that? And don't you think that Gayle King should say that?
She should either say that or not say anything.
Yeah, I don't know why
if
she
you're
feels...
If you're talking to him, I don't know that I'd be telling people you're talking to him.
Veep star Julia Louis-Dreyfus appeared to be well. Along the road to recovery as she went shopping at Saks Fifth Avenue in Beverly Hills. The beloved actress who has been battling breast cancer was looking healthy and relaxed, it says. She carried a leather tote bag back to her car. She's been undergoing treatment for breast cancer, but she's now out and about, taking hikes. Her hair is... I guess it was
growing back,
or maybe it just sort of didn't all fall out. I don't know. Is that a picture of her looking healthy?
Yes.
You think?
Sure.
I wouldn't recognize her, frankly.
She is a national treasure.
She is. And you'll be glad to know that a woman who was kidnapped and held captive for 11 years in Cleveland House of Horrors, remember that story?
Oh, with the bunch of women that were in the house.
It's revealed now that she's happily married.
Dead giveaway.
Michelle Knight.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do we have dead giveaway?
No, I deleted it a long time ago.
That isn't Ain't Nobody Got Time for That.
No, that's a different one.
That's a different one.
Dead giveaway.
I like it. My favorite is still Ain't Nobody Got Time for That. Michelle Knight, who was abducted by Ariel Castro in 2002, revealed her marital news on an episode of Dr. Pill, which is expected to air later this month. She was among the 3 women held captive and abused by Castro for more than 10 years. Castro committed suicide in prison while serving a life sentence. Ms. Knight, who now goes by the name Lily Rose Lee, is releasing a new book in May called Life After Darkness. And I thought she had changed her name to Kimmy Schmidt, but no, it's it's Lily Rose Lee.
It's Boner Fight, the final round.
Here we go. It's the winner from round 1 in the 7 o'clock hour going against the winner from round 2. Round 1's winner was less EPA, more Pruitt. Scott Pruitt, the head of the Environmental Protection Agency, would like to update one of those EPA or some of those EPA souvenir challenge coins. He'd like to take that awful EPA logo off. He'd like to take the EPA initials off and put his name on the coin. That's boner candidate number 1. Boner candidate number 2, well, I guess a squirt gun could be a sex toy. A police chief in Florida is being reprimanded for going to a pool party. He's in uniform. There's a women's pool party. They're all officers, police officers, or work in the police department. Some of them they're all in swimsuits, some in bikinis. They invited him. They said, let's take a picture. He's in uniform. He was
perfectly harmless.
Yeah, and there was an investigation. He was exonerated by the investigation, but still, the city council is very upset and wants to reprimand him for taking that picture. That's number 2.
There you go. You've got to decide which one of these deserves to be Boner of the Day for today, April 13. 1 or 2. Put the candidate number of the candidate that you think should win Boner of the Day in the message of a text, and then text that to us at 33986. You can call the producer's booth and vote there with your voice, 877-602-9696. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Fight, April 13, and vote there. You've got less than 300 seconds, though. Let's go. This is Boner of the Day.
The music starts at 10 with a 1 hour.
And tamarind.
I'm all right with tamarind.
Are you sure?
Well,
Do you
like
know what-
A1, I must be.
Do you know what tamarind is?
No, I have no idea what tamarind is.
Okay.
What is it?
I'm not going to say.
You don't know.
Yeah, I
Of
do.
course. What is it?
It's a fruit.
Bill used to play the tamarind.
In the Mamas and the Papas.
In the Salvation Army. I was the tamarind player.
Hey, Mr.
Tamarind Man, play a song for me. We did it
It's
again,
the Gina B
yes.
and Richie T. There it is. That's the show you're going to get.
Does anybody here know what a tamarind is?
It's a fruit.
Now listen while I play my green tamarind.
It's a
It's like a citrus kind of a
yeah.
fruit.
It's kind of sour. It's very
Yeah.
sour. One of my favorite things to get at a Vietnamese restaurant is tamarind broth soup.
I like to get tamarind sodas
It's
at
related-
Mexican places.
It's related to the date.
Oh, I had no idea. There you go, tamarind.
Cousin of the date? Or
I think
neighbor?
no, it's related. So I believe it's an uncle. It's an uncle to the date.
Uncle Tamarind, shut up. We're tired of your stories about flavoring A1. We don't believe you.
Oh, these people have brought us a cake.
No, that's
oh,
not
no.
for us.
It's for size 9.
Happy
Is it
25th
your birthday
birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
You know what would be really funny is if that cake slid out of the pan right now onto the floor. Holding it kind of sideways.
Radio from Hell with Kerry Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi on X96.
All right. 9:36.
I guess Mike Tyson has finally found his niche in life.
To be silly?
Yeah.
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 Sure, why not?
That's all right.
All right, time to.
he's a rapist and everything.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't care for him much.
Yeah.
But
Time to award Boner of the Day.
well, Boner of the Day is brought to you by,
In part
by, I had a really bad lunch.
Oh?
Diet Pepsi, bag of chicharrones, pork rinds.
Didn't you have dinner last night? No dinner?
I did, but it's too hard to describe.
I never have a dinner that's too hard to
I know you don't.
describe.
Bag of pork rinds, and then I had a Hershey bar. But it wasn't just a Hershey bar. I don't usually do this. I don't have a soda. I don't have a Hershey bar. But there was a Hershey bar there on the counter, and it said it was a strawberry cheesecake Hershey bar.
That sounds terrible.
It was
I'd eat it.
well, I was curious, and it was with that white chocolate.
Yeah.
And then it had a little crunchy kind of strawberry taste and stuff in it. It was passable.
All right.
And Fridays are always roaring at Prohibition with live bands and burlesque dancers. Come see what everyone's whispering about. Prohibition, located at Fashion Place Mall in Murray. Line up and reservations at prohibitionutah.com.
It was a horrible lunch. All right, so the Boner Dome contained these two contestants. Less EPA, more Pruitt. Scott Pruitt, the head of the Environmental Protection Agency, would like to update their challenge coins, pretty much take off any mention of the Environmental Protection Agency, but we got to have his name on it. Maybe his face even, who knows? And then Boner candidate number 2, well, I guess a squirt gun could be used as a sex toy. That title comes from, by the way, when the police chief in uniform went to the pool party, invited to the pool party by his female co-workers. They were all there at the pool, some of them wearing bikinis, and they posted a picture on Instagram, chief in uniform, them in their swimsuits. And people got all upset about it, and they said, look, even some of those women are holding sex toys. Well, they were those kind of squirt gun things that you use in a pool. So,
not a big deal.
No. But that didn't win. The winner, going away, Boner candidate number 1, less EPA, more Pruitt.
And our politically active audience.
Are they all limousine liberals?
All of us.
Snowflakes.
Coastal elites?
When they're not voting for the Boner, they're out there, like saving hawks and cleaning up rivers and stuff like that. Horrible things.
Oh, my. That reminds me of a Hawaii story I forgot to tell you.
Oh, what?
What?
My liberal children.
And whose fault is that?
I know. So we're at the beach, and I went and bought them a little bucket and shovel, so they can dig in the sand and whatever. My daughter comes running up, Mom, we had the bucket and we were digging, and then we went to play in the ocean for a bit, and we came back, and the tide came in, and it took the bucket and it washed it out to sea.
Your kids are hapless. Jeez.
And I said, I'm sorry, honey. We can probably get you another bucket. She said, no, I'm not upset about that. Do you know how much plastic is in the ocean?
She's right.
Was so upset.
She's right.
That she in some way contributed to the.
She's right, but your kids are not normal.
Listen, I had
She was so upset. No, don't buy me another bucket. What if that one goes into the ocean?
There's a story here about a whale that was washed up. I've had it for a couple of days. I forget which file I put it in. This whale that was washed up, it was dead. And they found like 90 pounds of garbage in the whale's stomach. Just trash. Plastic, and it's horrible. Have you ever looked at that? What do they call it? That big floating
the bog, the
big floating bog of
Garbage Island.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Oh, it is. Oh, what we've done to this planet is disgusting.
And
continues to do.
But the EPA, we got to dismantle that.
Yeah.
Being kind to where we live, Carrie, is bad for business.
There it is, 64 pounds of trash found in the stomach of a sperm whale.
Ugh.
The 33-foot long whale was swept up in the Mediterranean. It was not fully grown. It weighed only 1,300 pounds. Usually they could go up to 120,000, so it was scrawny. It had plastic bags, rope, netting, a plastic drum, a little plastic bucket and shovel that had
Oh, no.
I made
Forward
that.
that.
I made that up.
Forward that to her.
I made that up.
It's just...
It couldn't process the garbage
But
or
here's-
pass it through its digestive system.
Here's the good news.
And it died.
Here's the good news. I know my kids aren't the only kids that are thinking about these things. I'm being serious.
You want to bet?
Not just about the environment, but about our political future. And
hope
it's
you're
the
right.
Parkland kids. They're
Look,
they're
Gina's
more
pounding
aware.
the desk.
They're active. They're,
Hostile liberal.
Yeah,
Hostile liberal right there.
Listen, Snowflake, back off.
I have hope for the future. I know it's not just my kids.
You and your cuck friends.
I hate
That's
that
really
word.
it.
I hate that word.
It's short for cuckold.
That and libtard. I hate.
Well,
I
I think-
get called those things on Twitter all the time.
I think libtard is just stupid.
Yep.
It's horrible.
I never get called any of that on Twitter. You know why? I almost never do anything political on Twitter.
That's where you do things political.
You know, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we have a radio show, and we kind of,
there are people calling you a cuck right now.
I'm sure there are, but but as to put it vulgarly, when I'm done with this show, my wad is shot.
Really?
I don't want to. I'm not going to go do a bunch
I
of stuff
got
on Twitter.
Plenty of wad left after.
I know, not me. I'm done.
You can eat a butt and go to hell.
Eat a butt.
All right.
What was that?
I don't know. We'll be back with Boner of the Week. Stand by.
Geek Show is me and my best friends hanging out in my studio basement talking about the geeky world we love. Get a free, not safe for work episode every Monday wherever you get your podcasts.
Stick. Spell it with me now. S-T-I-C-K. And now we'll use it in some dialogue between our two Utah friends, Elder LeGrandar Dunn Jr. and his wayward friend LeVar. The boys have gone to a local building supply store for plumbing fixtures. Let's listen as a conversation ensues. Again, the word is stick.
I think you're going to need a few different things to fix up your problem, LeVar. Just a tube of caulk ain't going to do the trick.
Well, I'll take your best advice on this job, LeGrand. I mean, that toilet's gotten to where it's leaking so bad, just putting towels around the base ain't holding back the flow no more. I mean, it worked for a couple of months, but this morning I was ankle deep in water, clear out to the kitchen. What do I need to buy here?
Well, first off, you're going to need a wax seal, and then you're going to need to replace that float ball thingy. And then caulking around the base should finish you up.
Well, I guess they should have all that stuff here to Chris and Dick.
Should have. Them two guys know how to stock hardware.
Oh, you know them?
Oh, yeah, sure. They're around here all the time. Oh, look. There's one of them now.
Well, who is it? It's Chris?
No, Stick.
The guy with the beard, Stick?
No, the guy in the Oshkosh overhaul, Stick. The guy with the beard ain't nobody.
Hey, LeGrand, look.
What?
Looky, celebrity shop here to Chris and Dick's. Look over there, KSL people. Stick Norris.
It's not him. Oh, but it's Stick's co-worker, KSL people, Bruce Lindsay.
Yeah, Bruce Lindsay. Hey, how come he has a different last name than his dad? Why ain't his last name Norse like his old man's? Spear. Spell it with me now. S-P-E-A-R. And now we'll use it in some dialogue. Today, our Utah friends, LeVar and LeGrand, have decided to get out of the heat by taking in a movie in the cool, air-conditioned comfort of a local movie theater. Again, the word is spear.
We got a few minutes before the movie starts, LeVar. I think I'm going to get me some snacks at the snack bar.
What the heck movie have you drugged me to anyhow, LeGrand? There's a bunch of kids here in this theater.
You know, it's the Lion King.
The Lion King? Well, who plays the king and what the hell's he got to lie about? All these kids should not be seeing a movie about liars.
Oh, no, the Lion King. Like the animal.
Huh?
You know, L-I-E-O-N, lion. Big cats, lions.
Oh.
It's a cartoon that Walt Disney drew.
You drugged me to a flippin' cartoon movie? I knew there's too many kitties in here. Got down, sat on a bench, LeGrand. I may be having to vomit partway through.
The Lion King is supposed to be real good, even for the grown-ups, LeVar. And they say the music is real fine. It was wrote by that Elton John.
Who? Well, who the hell is the Elton John?
Well, he's a singer and a writer who's got lots of hit music. He's one of them men what likes other men, but he's still a very good musician.
Cheese and rice, LeGrand. You mean there's men that's attracted to other men?
Yeah.
That's square.
Well, I didn't know about it myself until I read it in the newspaper and in Newsweek.
Oh.
Anyhow, I'm going to the snack bar. I can't get through a movie without some popcorn and a drink and some nachos and some Junior Mints and a box of Goobers and some malted milk balls and a pack of red vines. You want anything?
Nope. I got my refreshment right here, LeGrand. I sneaked in this can of Vienna sausages and one of them Army surplus MREs, and this.
What's that, canteen of water?
Nope, ain't water. Nope. Spear.
Spear?
Yep, spear.
Spear? God almighty, LeVar! You better hope the usher don't catch you.
Oh, yeah, like Mr. 16-year-old pimple monster's gonna be a real threat. And I'm telling you, LeGrand, if I don't catch me a beer buzz, I'll never make it through this cartoon. Hey, is Mickey Mouse in this?
On X96.
All right, it's 9:50.
I just noticed this. I don't think we've mentioned this today.
What?
This was just sitting around here. This text jokers thing. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
Text the word jokers, JOKERS, to 33986.
Unless you're hearing this on Monday morning.
Right. And that'll enter you to win tickets to the Impractical Jokers Santiago Centers Tour Saturday night at the Maverick Center. Text Jokers to 33986 to qualify. The contest ends today at 3.
Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
Not, if you're hearing this Monday.
You won't. They'll cut it out.
Yeah. Right. I'm sure they will.
No, this is making it easy. They just won't play this break on Monday.
You think? We'll see.
Yeah. I don't know.
Dave's here.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Fine.
He said he's ready to mow lawns, but it snowed.
I've been mowing lawn.
You've been mowing lawns.
Yeah.
That's kind of a goofy hat you're wearing today. What is on that? Is that
T-Mobile?
Oh, it's T-Mobile. Okay. It's a free hat, is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's the way you like it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything good?
Yeah.
When's your birthday, Dave?
January 12th.
January
12th.
January 12th. All right. He's going to be 60. He was telling us so. That's unbelievable. You look like a mere boy.
Because he's been coming to see us for 40 years.
40
years.
Well, it's nigh on to 41 now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He started selecting the boner of the day when we were all just children. You remember that when we were doing that little radio show in the basement?
Yeah. We used to call him Mr. Matson.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Dave, here we go. We're going to let you select Boner of the Week. It's been a long week. Boner candidate number 1 from Monday. This is a good one. I guess the wind just blew it in there. A Florida woman blaming a windy day for the cocaine that police found in her purse. Searched her. Officers smelled marijuana in the car. They stopped it on a traffic violation. They smelled the pot. Started searching. They found cocaine in her purse. How did that get there? She said, it's a wind. Maybe the wind must have just blown it into my purse.
Only explanation.
Boner candidate number. She was thinking on her feet, though. You got to give her that. Boner candidate number 2 from Tuesday. Emma attacks. Wait, no, Brittany attacks. There's some doctored photos from a recent Teen Vogue cover story that featured Emma Gonzalez, one of the Parkland students, tearing up. They doctored it so it looked like she was tearing up the Constitution. Well, some people thought they would troll the trolls who did that, and they posted a picture of Britney Spears when Britney was bald and crazy, attacking a car of paparazzi.
Not even close.
Yeah, and they said there's Emma Gonzalez attacking a car at a rally for Second Amendment supporters, and people bought it. They thought, there she is. Boner candidate number 3 from Wednesday. So 10 lawmakers voted for bestiality. That's the law in Tennessee. It was Louisiana that they to make bestiality, sex with animals, against the law. So they put it up there. 25 senators, of course, voted for that law, but 10 senators thought, I guess it's okay. I'm not voting for it. Let's just leave that bestiality thing in place, shall we? Number 4 from Thursday. You put the same one. Yeah, the same. That's a mistake. And I don't know what the one from Thursday was. I
don't remember.
I don't keep a record of it, so we'll have to skip that one, Dave. I hope. Do you remember what it was?
No.
No. All right.
Hold on.
You
I
think
I
you
can
can find it?
Gina's going to look it up real quick.
And then the one from today was Scott Pruitt, the EPA. He wants to get rid of the logo and stuff and put his name on the challenge coins. So I think I know. Of those, is there a good one? Do you know who you would select?
Number 3.
You would select number 3 from those? The bestiality.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
That's up to you, Dave. There you go.
I still like you can't arrest someone who's in the river.
Oh, that.
Oh, yeah.
No,
that didn't win, did it?
It didn't win, but I still like that.
That didn't win.
Can't arrest someone who's in the river.
See, that one.
A friend of mine said.
Yeah,
that was
a friend
the best
of mine
part
said
of it.
that. My buddy Wad said you can't arrest somebody who's in the river.
That was the best part. A buddy of mine.
It's maritime law.
That's what it is.
It's riverology, man.
I love that one.
And then of course the woman who said the cocaine must have been blown into her purse by the wind.
Figure it out.
That's also, those were classic. But that's the one you wanted, Dave. That's the one you get.
That's the one. All right. You got the promo there?
Well,
we're just gonna dive in.
Well, hang on. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yay! It's the weekend.
Join us next week on Radio from Hell. We have Real Salt Lake tickets and Monster Energy Supercross tickets to give away.
At 6:45 on Monday, very important sports with Ed Brass. Bill Frost talking TV at 8 a.m., and I will do Geek News at 8:45.
That's all on Monday's Radio from Hell show on X96.
All right.
You got a busy weekend? I know you have a busy weekend, Bill.
Crystal, Dylan and I are emceeing the Crystal Crest Awards at Weber State University, and we have matching tuxedos. Won't that be cute?
I thought I heard yesterday that Dylan might be having trouble with his tuxedo, that they didn't have it for him, or did I misunderstand that?
I think you're okay.
Everything worked out?
Yeah,
okay.
They're really nice at that. It's the Men's Warehouse, the one up in Ogden on Riverdale Road. Very, very nice guys. Very nice.
Tuxedos.
So a warehouse of men?
You're going to love the way you look. I'm George Zimmerman. You remember those?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me a card, a 50% off, half price if I want to have a suit made.
Nice.
Get a suit made.
You need one.
I think I will.
Every man should have one nice suit, just in case.
I used to have one, but I the moths got it.
The moths?
Yeah. It happens occasionally in our house.
Okay.
The moths get into things.
Are they pet moths?
No.
That seems like the kind of thing
Oh, no.
you'd have as a
Yeah,
pet.
no, my daughter's deathly afraid of moths. We don't have them around.
Richie says he's pond skimming at Snow Basin tomorrow.
All right.
Okay,
It
what are you
sounds
doing?
Cold.
What are you doing?
I got soccer.
Of course you do.
Great. And Carrie?
We're just
Geek
recording
show?
Geek Show tomorrow.
That's it?
Yeah, pretty
for the
much.
weekend?
I'm just going to relax most of the weekend.
You're lucky.
Oh, we got a Comic-Con meeting tonight. Yeah.
Well, that's, you know.
Yeah.
But then you got the... So doing Geek Show these days is sort of relaxing, isn't it?
No.
No? Is it stressful?
No, you gotta prep stories. You gotta keep the guys on track.
That's the hard part.
The formatting, you gotta,
Yeah.
It's work. All right. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
I leave here with plenty of wad.
John Smith is next.
A 1-hour nonstop music wingding starts now. Utah's original alternative, X96.